Hello, hello. Hey, Kevin. All right. So I don't know if I reported on this on Discord, but either way, I like having this in the stream, which is that I was having blurry camera issues. I might still, but I don't think they're going to happen anymore. And I think the symptoms all kind of make sense now. So what was happening is when I turn off the camera, the lens like retracts into the body, and it stopped doing that. And then it wasn't focusing. Both of these point to like the camera is physically unable to zoom. I think it was a loose connection. So I just reseated the lens and I think it's fine. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out today. But yeah, I'm hoping it's back to normal because I mentioned this already, but I don't want to have to pay for another camera. And I mean, look, right now it's working totally fine. So it's able to work for at least short bursts. So if it's fine today, then okay, it just turned out to be a loose lens. I'm guessing that over the course of 2 years of using it, that it just slowly detached itself by the tiny vibrations or something. Because I never dropped this. I haven't even really moved it. It's on a stand fixed to my desk. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, it's October 1st. And that means I want to look over the roadmap because originally we were going to launch this quarter. So sometime in the next 3 months. And December wouldn't have really made sense. That was the original plan. The new plan is Q1 of 2026. So we've got upwards of 6 months, kind of. I'd like to kind of pick a date, maybe like March 17th. That would put us at exactly 23 months since starting Skeleseller. But I'm not going to be rigid on what specific date until we have it set in stone. Then I want to stick to it. But like if it slips to April or something, that's okay. But I want to take a look over the roadmap. So for one, when will bone mode be done? And for this, I want to look at the calendar. I will need to take some time off for the end of October. I think it's gonna be starting on the 22nd. So we have a total of 2 whole work weeks and then like 4 extra days. So that's about 14 days I could work on this before November. I want to be done in those 14 days, or like I want to be certain that the game is fun. And I think if we're not there yet, I don't think it's going to be clear how we get there. Like this shouldn't take 2 more years to make fun. And I'm going to be doing some playtesting today, so I'll see how I feel now with these new changes. But I do think we need more content, which is what I have planned for today. And hey, maybe it's like kind of good enough for a V1. We can add in some new things later. So yeah, up until October 22nd, I guess up until November, really. Work on bone mode. Content balancing, bug fixes and polish, playtesting. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. After stabilize, fix bugs, allow for using locations, localization, prune the demo, look for the playtester issues, new trailer, achievements, final cutscene, launch date, content, bosses, more items, and just churn through this to-do list. And then ramp up marketing again. All right, the point wasn't just list out all the stuff I have to do, although I think this is a pretty good representation of the stuff I have to do. And I think some of this will be sort of easy. Maybe not exactly easy, but like add more content. This is kind of just come up with some enemies and some items and some costs and whatever else. Yeah. Some represent new systems, like the allow for using locations, and probably changing how bosses work. This I'm just going to delete. Then marketing and everything. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. I want to type that emote there. And now let's give it a different hat there. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at right now. What do I have? We should really increase speed after bone mode to get things good enough. Then work on polish for any remaining time. I almost wonder if the launch day should be April 17th. I don't think we need to figure that out. I think localization is going to be difficult. So it may be worth it to get clarity on the exact time this stuff will take. Maybe localization should be done soonest so that we have a plan for it. Let's try first. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't made a launch day yet, so I think this is kind of not super worthwhile to do anymore. But I also think we'll get more clarity with this new playtest. So all right, I've looked over the roadmap. I guess that goal is technically done. Next up is this stuff, repro steps of this. I'm not even gonna fix this, I think. I'm gonna write this down at the bottom, but I don't think this is really worth addressing. I'm just gonna write this down over here. Farm crop value should be offered no matter what. I agree. It shouldn't matter if you have the farm or not. Let's just do that. Suppose I can find a waypoint. Yeah. I tend to use that as a hello in other people's streams. Offer farm crop value no matter what. We used to require that you had the farm. I think this was because of how specializations worked. If there was a spec where you couldn't have the farm, then we shouldn't have offered this to you. However, that's also back when we had twists. So offering a negative that doesn't impact you is an easy choice. However, nothing stops you from having the farm now. And if it did, then we'd want to check that, not just whether you have the farm. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a very long commit message for deleting one line of code. But yeah, I think that's all we need to do. All right, next up, bug buildings don't produce smoke when you build it for balance mode. This is just a polish thing. Yeah, and I already have this written down over here, so I'm just going to delete this too. Like, I don't think these are holding up the playtest, and I don't think that means we should work on it. All right, well, now we get to something that I am going to be conflicted about. So if we go over to, oh, by the way, a couple of quick changes. Hey, one, I put tab indices into my VS Code setup. So now you can tell that tab 1 is this one and tab 2 is this one. It's pretty obvious when you only have 4 because you can just count them. But when you have a whole bunch of them open, sometimes it's not obvious how far scrolled over you are. And now I can see like, oh, I'm a number 14, which means there are a whole bunch to the left of this. And because there are keyboard shortcuts that go to a specific tab, like if I want to go to the third one, I press Command 3. If I want to go to the fifth one, I press Command 5. This might help. So anyway, I'm going to try that. The other thing that's kind of cool, and this is not related to VS Code, but Quickie Joe made a bandage graphic for the health bar when you are recovering life in the game. So I can't really show you the before easily, but I can show you the after, and it looks really cool. So let's do this and this and this. Okay. So check this out. We're going to lose this battle, and there's going to be a health bar. And whoops. Hold on. I need to have auto battle for there to be a health bar. All right, there it is. So it says waiting for full health, but now it's like a little bandage. I like that. It's another little polished thing that just makes the game look more like a game. And when you minimize this, it just kind of looks like a regular bar at that point because there's not enough space for there to be detail. But yeah, I think it's really cool. So little changes are happening. We're gonna get those new battle pictures soon enough. I've got to spend some time working on that. All right, so where's my branch? There. And then we go look at pretty much any of these commits so that I can get the SHA that I want, which is here. And I said meta perks tree changed. What happened? Meta perks tree.cs. Here. Yeah, all of these. Oh my God. They're all gonna be gone. Oh, I've never ever liked this. I have code that worked totally fine. And now I'm like, you know what? Players just don't like that feature. So now I've got to get rid of it. And the question here is how much of this do we get rid of? More starting workers and more starting customers. So none of these are used anymore. We have 24 things. And if I'm ever going to use them again, then I wouldn't want to delete them. So what I think we should do is we should make certain that I'm not going to use any of these. And then, yeah, delete them. Let's do that. And then I might as well alphabetize them. Okay, so armor, storage, crop variety, and tropic magic. These are all meta perks that would grant you perks or grant you a higher level of something. These are technically all used still. I put these into unlocked perks. So I don't need to keep those there. So we only have 21 of these. Hey, Ubi. I've been off Twitch for a while. Just found you online again and downloaded the demo from Steam. Isn't usually my type of game, but I'm really enjoying it. Nice, yeah. And thanks for the resub. You know, I've heard this from a lot of people. Specifically this part, this sentence. This isn't usually my type of game, but I'm enjoying it. And on one hand, it's heartening because it lets me know that if people have it in front of them, they might like it. But on the other hand, how would you have ever wanted to play this game if I weren't the one making it? Like if you saw this on Steam, you'd probably be like, oh, that's not my type of game, so I won't play it. And you'll just move on, right? Like, how do I let people know that they're going to have fun playing it anyway? Anyway, I hope you've been well. Yeah. Also, if you want to join the playtest, there are the instructions. They're very simple. It's just send me a DM on Discord, basically, and join the Skeleseller Discord. But we're going to be launching a new version on probably Friday. And I need people who played the demo, but who haven't played the new content yet. And ideally, they'd record themselves with audio. But this is optional. At the very least, I need like some kind of write-up of like, did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? But if there's audio, I can just hear what you're thinking and what you're saying and see what you're doing. And okay, so do we get rid of these? Do we ever need the concept of starting a run with a specific perk? I think that's the question we have to ask. Do we ever need to start a run with a specific perk? And if so, do we need to do it through meta perks? I don't think so. And if we do, I guess we add it back in. Man. Yeah. It wouldn't be that hard to just revive this stuff. And currently this is unused, right? Yeah, it's unused. Oh boy. All right, let's go delete it all. I'll give the playtest a try. Nice, yeah. Yeah, so just some more little details about this. It'll probably be ready this Friday. It might be a little bit sooner. So if you had time like this weekend or maybe next week or something, that would be great. And what I'm most interested in, the first like 1 to 3 runs that someone does, this is like a less than 1 hour commitment. And you can stop whenever you want. And you don't have to record it, like I said, and you don't even have to do any of this. But if you're going to do it, the most value I'd get is from watching what people are doing for the first runs and then hearing like, okay, did you find it fun or not? Don't know about audio recording, but if you're finding their broken English, I guess it's fine. Yeah, totally. The one thing I will say, because I've had a bunch of issues with this, people who haven't recorded themselves before generally tend to have like game sounds too loud. So I would say to err on the side of caution and just set the master volume down to like something lower than you might normally have it. Because most people's microphones are not set high enough. So at least that way you're not overpowered by the game. But like I said, if you're not comfortable with it for whatever reason, feel free to not share it. When you do share it, just having it as an unlisted YouTube video is fine. I'm pretty flexible, but this is a way that other people wouldn't be able to see it, but I would be. You could delete the video afterward. So yeah. Anyway, thank you. That's very nice of you, Ubi. Hey, Phil. And Frogger, thank you for resubbing. Not my type of game either. I only play Factorio and Stardew Valley and Sims or something. But I've played it and it looked fun. Probably YouTubers. Yeah, that's true. And that's actually, I think that's good news then, because that's something that's doable. I think what would be tough is if I had to do traditional ads or something and convince people, hey, this is an idle game, but not really, and it's more fun than you think. I don't know. I'm hoping the reviews end up being good enough that they can also help convince people. And maybe the reviews will say like, hey, this wasn't my kind of game, but yeah, I ended up liking it. All right, so we just got to delete all of these. Armor storage, done. Well, I guess we should keep track of it like this. Crop variety, farm size, and tropic magic. I should probably remember a few of these at a time. Farm size, auto eat, boulder. Farm size, auto eat. That's not right. The meta perks. Oh my god, what am I doing? Farm size. And then boulder. Granting boulder, I don't know where this would go if I didn't do it here. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete it for now. Thanks, Mac. All right, so those are done. Hardworking adventurers. Oh, this kind of represents another problem, right? Like if you have 12 workers or something, you probably don't need your adventurers to also move stuff. To the point where this is kind of just a waste of a perk. I don't know, maybe we just need something like a ban pool. I don't know. Let's just not worry about it for right now. Just do it once we know there's a problem. Increased appetite. Key rarity. Mana crystal. Max fish. More fish eggs. Mushy preparedness. Paladin double strike. Potion storage. Quicker strike. Selective loot. Spirit caller dual targeting. Treasure chest displays. Warehouse and weapon. There. Okay, so that's all the meta perks. Now I need to delete their corresponding files. But yeah, they're all gone from here. Hey, Meridio, how's it going? And then we should probably fix up these gaps because I already wiped out the save file. Unfortunately, I don't see an easy way to do this. I guess I just got to type them in. Although we do need to make sure that I haven't deleted anything from above this. Yeah, 179, 180. Hopefully, I can just fix all of these. 181. Come on, fix all of them for me. You know what I wonder? Maybe we could do this. Oh wait, yeah, of course. What am I thinking? Of course we can do this. We can just search for all of these and then do $prev +1 and then select this and select this and evaluate. Okay, that was easy. All right, so now they're all contiguous. And then we just need to go delete the abilities themselves. Up to 30 words per minute. That's pretty good. I think you'll notice it'll go a little faster now. But yeah, coding will still be difficult. Angle this a little bit differently. All right, now to go delete all these things. So meta perk grant armor storage. There it is. So reveal this and delete them all. Coding is really hard with the layers. It does start out a lot harder than you're used to. But when you get used to it, I think it does feel pretty smooth. And you can also change key bindings however you want. Like I've shown this before, but I have a backtick key. Most people do. But then I have a triple backtick key. So I press one key on the keyboard and it types out 3 backticks at once. And that's so that when I'm typing a code block, I can do that. And it's just, I saved, what, 4 key presses or something. It's like, okay, that makes sense for me. Maybe you type functions so often, you do something like void foo, that you want to have it type out like all of these characters at once. In which case you could make a single key for that. Or you could actually make a key that types out all of this stuff. Void foo, parenthesis, parenthesis, space, curly braces. So those sorts of things are nice. People also sometimes tailor it to the languages that they're doing. Like if you're using Rust, you're going to see some combinations of characters that you don't see in, let's say, Python. Or let's say I'm using interpolated strings in C# a lot. I'd probably do $, quote, and probably this would be inside of like parentheses or something. Like make a key for that then. You could do whatever you want. But these are fine tunings once you're kind of used to the basics, I guess. So I don't suggest doing it right now, but yeah. All right, so grant armor storage, crop variety, entropic magic, farm size. This folder should be practically empty by the time we're done with this. Auto eat. I just want to make sure I'm going in order. Golem boulder, excuse me. Where's that? Where is that? I must be missing it. Oh, there it is. It's Grant Boulder. I thought it would have Golem in it. Hardworking adventurers, increased appetite, key rarity, mana crystal. All right, these are in alphabetical order, so this should be pretty simple. More fish eggs, mushy preparedness. Where's that one? There it is. Paladin double strike. That's up there. Potion storage, quicker strike, selective loot, dual targeting, treasure chest displays, warehouse, and weapon. Okay, nice. So that's 6 of them, and then the 3 level up ones. Yeah. Big fan of program specific layouts if you're doing more stuff than purely coding. For example, a Blender layer made a huge difference for me. Now I have all the relevant stuff on my left hand easily and mouse and pen on the right. Yeah, I think any like heavyweight program like Blender, maybe image editing, maybe gaming, I think those are nice to have layers for as well. But I think the difficulty there is that, let's take gaming for example. Like rarely are you just gaming. Sometimes, yes, you have a single player game and you're like locked in, but a lot of times you're playing a multiplayer game and then you want to chat, or you're doing a single player game and then you want to like browse the internet. Any of this stuff requires kind of regular typing. So depending on how you get into the layer and how you get out of it, it might become a little bit more difficult. Like for gaming, I just switch keyboards altogether. I have a layer for code reviews and diffing. Oh, cool. Yeah, still type everything. I don't think that's a bad thing to type everything. And I think there are benefits. So for example, if I ever want to type 2 backticks, I have to just type 2 backticks, right? Like you wouldn't make your 3 backtick thing and then hit backspace or something. So there's a certain amount of compositional power that you would have. And by tailoring things to scenarios, you might remove some of the composition and have it more tailored to one specific thing. And then it's more to remember, and it's more to keep track of in your head. It's like in Vim, you need to know what layer you're in at any given time, or just always press escape or something to make sure you're not in a specific layer. So it's kind of the same thing with your keyboard. It's like you have literal layers. Okay, I mean, I think this is it. We deleted every single one of these things. Goodbye, code. It was nice knowing you. Yeah, everything still runs. Okay, yeah. Move unused. Oh, wait. We need to look at any of these. Like this is now, it extends this thing, meta perk granting adventure ability. Nothing should be doing this now, right? Yeah. Oh, oh no. All right, I'm gonna copy this code. Town mode challenge functions. Let's go get that. Town mode challenge functions. Why is that not showing up? Why is that not showing up? What did I do wrong? Town challenge mode. Oh my god, town challenge mode. I'm typing the wrong thing. All right, where's that code now? I want to save that here down to here. All right, we're gonna put this in my deleted code note. Similarly, we had meta perks that grant perks and meta perks that grant, well, granted, I guess we're not gonna have these anymore. Granted adventure abilities here. Yeah, there. Now I can delete this code. Oh man, I don't ever like doing that. That'll never feel good. All right, well, I guess we don't have a localization problem to fix now. So meta perk granting adventure ability is gone. Meta perk granting perk should also be gone. Wow. All right, that's a lot of deletions. Yeah, let's try running one more time. So far, I haven't seen any weird camera glitches, because before the glitches would happen, the screen would like fade black. And that hasn't happened yet, so I'm really hoping it's just fixed. Man, it's coming together. It feels good that it's coming together. Okay, so delete unused meta perks. I deleted 2 entire classes, or like, what do I call this? Class is kind of overloaded. 2 entire categories of them. Meta perks that grant perks, and meta perks that grant adventure abilities. The rationale behind this is that, well, the rationale behind this was already explained in a prior commit, which is that we wanted to simplify meta perks down to just 6 specific ones. This commit could have been done earlier, since nothing was using any of these meta perks. All right, dare I even look through this? I think it's going to be kind of pointless. I modified a README. I deleted a bunch of IDs, and then I just have deleted code, right? Yeah, it's all red. Great. All right, nice. So that one's on. Probably pick some icons for each perk and reduce the atom art that can show to people in the game. It's okay if we use duplicated icons at first. Yeah, so if you look at this, like, we have no icons for these. But as long as they're not one of these 3 icons, it should kind of be okay, right? So pre-built towns, start with some buildings. Do we have an icon that could represent that? Assets, icons, ability icons. Is there a way to... Whoops. Well, there's not quite what I want to do here. I guess if you do that, maybe. Can I zoom in on that? Yeah, so I just want to look at these and see, is there something that looks like a building, maybe? Oh, you know what we could do? We could sort by type. Kind. And that way we'll just see... This didn't do what I wanted it to do. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so now we can just look through these and see, is there anything that looks kind of like a building here? Probably not. I mean, maybe it could be that. Extractor training. I might do that. I don't know if we have anything better. Because most of these wouldn't be building stuff. Like these kind of sort of look like it. Maybe that. More storage warehouse. That could potentially work. Yeah, let's go with that one for now. This is just temporary anyway. The well could potentially work too. I think this is good. All right, so we got to write this down. We got to keep track of all these. Hey, Mars, it's going well. Going pretty well. So start with buildings. We'll use this one. And I'm going to save this file in case I accidentally... Well, I guess I'll always have the VOD. And there shouldn't be too many of these things. So what's next? Adventuring party. Okay, this should be maybe a little bit easier to find one for. This one would work. I mean, we could just have duplicated stuff. But I wonder if just a sword would be fine. Oh wait, we're already using the axe for this, so it can't be the axe. There's just got to be anything that might represent a bunch of adventurers. And again, this is temporary, so I shouldn't spend a lot of time on this. Would that work? This is evil minion though. Yeah, I think it would work. Like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. Is there a better one? This could potentially work too. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, evil minion for the adventure stuff. Start with, hey, Rohit. It's going well. How are you doing? Evil minion.svg. All right, and what's the last one? Start with random number of town perks. Okay, what do we use for that? This could also work for the adventurer one. Finally created the game. Nice. What game? Town perks. Maybe the knapsack. It's not bad. And the treasure chest. Yeah, let's go with the knapsack for now. Yeah, that's good enough. Working on chess. Any specific kind of chess? Or just like regular chess? Start with town perks, will be knapsack.svg. Okay, so there are those, and then we need all of these ones. So this stuff I'm gonna do much faster. We have what, crop variety or something? Yeah, crops.svg, farm crop value, crops.svg. These should mostly be pretty straightforward, right? Battle perk cost. Battle perk cost, we'll do execute. Is that even the name of a graphic? Whoops. Execute. Executioner hood. What's the name of the axe graphic? Maybe Fatal Strikes? Executioner hood. Oh, it is that. Executioner hood. Okay, end goal is a cursed chest, but working on basic chest first, then I'll add the cursed mechanics. Do you have an idea for what an example cursed mechanic will be? Because I'd love to hear that. It sounds cool. Power leveling, let's just go with Earth and Taunt. I think that's fine. Power leveling, Earth and Taunt.svg. All right, what's next? We just got to get all of these. Stronger hires. I guess they're kind of the same general thing. Stronger hires. I don't know, let's go with close call.svg. Close call.svg. Grant storage. Grant storage should just be the potion one. Where is that? There. All right. Next up, free guild supplies. This is going to be the treasure chest probably. Yeah, open treasure chest.svg. All right, how many more of these do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's not too bad. Free treasure chest. Okay, well now I don't know what to do for this. Do we have another treasure chest one? We probably do. I saw that one with keys on it. I don't want to use that one necessarily. Although I think we're going to have to. Oh, there's... that's probably good. Yeah. Let's go with that one. Okay. Auto fishing. Auto fishing just needs to look like some fish. Where's the fish one? There it is. Many fish. Many dots. Enemy stat multiplier. This one can use the evil minion. Marine mana. We'll use the mana crystals. Fish give gold and greedy garbage slime. Fish give gold and greedy garbage slime. Okay, fish give gold. That one's a little bit harder because we don't have anything with a fish and with gold next to it. I'll go with fish eggs for now. It's not great. And then greedy garbage slime. I think we have one where the garbage slime is just licking its lips or something. If it even has lips. Maybe garbage time. Let's just go with that. Oh, this shows a worker giving it. Pieces can phase in and out of being. Well, phased pieces cannot be taken or take a piece. Phasing costs a move. Pieces have hit points. Oh, cool. I'm guessing you've seen this, but what was it called? Multi-dimensional chess, I think. An old acquaintance of mine made this. Yeah, 5D chess with multiverse time travel. I've not played this myself, but I imagine it's very trippy. Okay, so now we got to go make all of these. So what is this? Like meta perks start with buildings. Meta perks start with adventurers. Meta perks starting town perks. Where's that? Start with town perks. Huh. But it's what's starting adventurers? Yeah, this is fine. Board sizes can be randomized. Yeah, I like that sort of thing where you take a game and you make a twist to it that maybe people haven't seen before. One of the more recent ones that I've played that's kind of like that is I really like Picross. Those who haven't seen Picross, you might have actually seen Picross and just don't know what it's called. But it's this game. You can do this on pen and paper if you want. And it's kind of like Sudoku. There's logic to it. You never should have to guess. And it's just a laid back, relaxing game. Anyway, there's a game called Nonogram's Katana that takes Picross and then puts a whole other layer of like making a guild in the game. It's the wildest combination of things I've seen. So you eventually build up a town, and the way you get the resources for doing these things is by completing puzzles. But, and this is where the kicker is, the time it would take you to build what you see in this picture is like 3 years. It's like a crazy amount of real life time. So I was playing that for a while, and then I was like, oh man, this is just consuming way too much time every day. It's like not even fun anymore. I just feel like I'm grinding forever. Have you played Pips? No, I haven't. I don't even know if I've heard of that. Let me see. Our new Dominoes game. No, I haven't seen this. I always go back to Picross sorts of games every once in a while. I think the Switch had a good set of them called like, what's it called? Picross S something? What is this made by? Picross S, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty good. This had something kind of interesting I'd never seen before called Mega Picross. Wonder if I can show a picture of that. Was it called Mega Picross? Maybe it wasn't. But yeah, here's a picture of it. So normally in Picross, you have numbers above every column and row. But in this Mega Picross, you can have numbers that span a column or a set of columns or rows. So it changes how you have to think about this. That was really cool. They also had colorful Picross where you'd paint in different colors and it changed the rules slightly. Spaces are trapped and have different effects if a piece lands there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder at what point it stops being chess and it becomes just a tactics game. Because I think if you want to keep the chess identity, you'd have to figure out how do I stay on the chess side of that line. Because I don't know if you played something like Final Fantasy Tactics, but the stuff you describe, hit points and tiles having different effects, and like that would all be pretty typical in a tactics game. And they take place on like weird boards. Usually 1 to 5 minutes long. Part of my after lunch rotation. Yeah, cool. All right, so what else? We need... what is this considered? Like unlocked perk farm crop value? Maybe this shouldn't be... I don't know. I don't really care. Yeah, let's just paste all these things in. Unlocked perk. So I just want to make sure these match the names that I gave them. Farm crop value, yes. Battle perk cost, yes. Power leveling, good. Stronger hires, yep. Grant storage, cool. Free guild supplies, free treasure chest, auto fishing, good, good, good. Enemy stat multiplier, marine mana. All right, this is good because this means I named them exactly the same way twice, except for this one. This one I think is called Garbage Slime Eats from Warehouse or something. Yeah. All right, so couldn't have predicted that one. To some extent, chess is a tactics game. Yeah. But what I mean is no one would say Final Fantasy Tactics is chess. But if you make this chess-like game where it becomes more and more cursed, they might still identify it as chess. And if that identity is important to you, then you'll need to figure out how to like keep it as chess. Then again, it could be kind of interesting just to say it is chess and then it turns into like cursed chess and then it just turns into a tactics game. Although I'm not sure if this middle step would really be needed. Again, this is me thinking out loud. I don't mean to say your game idea is a bad idea or something. I just think if you wanted to market it, it would need to still look like chess to have the hook that you wanted originally. All right, so we have all these perks. Now what I need to do is get what? All icon data. So I need to add these in and just call them the right things. So where is that? All of these, yeah. And then I need to add these to art requests. Problem is, I don't know if we're going to keep all of these. I don't want Quickie Joe to have to do stuff that's going to get deleted. All right, so how's this look? Meta perks start with buildings. Meta perks start with adventurers, start with town perks. Farm crop value. Battle perk cost, power leveling. Stronger hires. Unlock perk grants storage, free guild supplies, free treasure chest, auto fishing, enemy stat multiplier, marine mana, fish give gold, and garbage slime eats warehouse. Cool, perfect. Okay. Now let's alphabetize these. This is something VS Code can do for me, so we're done. That's it. And then same thing over here. Let's alphabetize these. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, because they're not all on single lines anymore. Yeah. All right, well, here's what we can do then. They're all in the icons folder. So we can do private const string icons equals that. And a slash. And replace anything. Oh, how will we do this? Because most are actually in ability icons. Yeah, let's do that. Abil icons. All right, so let's replace all the ability icons ones with $, quote, abil icons. There, that's not bad. Whoops, I deleted that one too. My bad. Is it abilities? I don't remember what it's called. Ability icons. I like having the slash in there. So I think let's delete this. Okay, so now I think we can get all of this onto one line, except for this one. Drip. Just too long. I think I'll just rename it to Greedy Garbage Slime. Yeah, that'll fix this. No, it still doesn't fit on one line? Now it does. Okay, so now all of these fit on one line. And now the only place where we have assets icons is what, this one spot? 2 spots? Okay, I guess let's replace those two. $, icons, slash. Constant fields should appear before non-constant fields. Fun part is building chess, because programming all the moves is much more complicated than you would think. I've never actually made chess before. I think for me, I've wanted to make a tactics game in the past. And after thinking about it, I didn't have any ideas of how I would do something different for tactics. I think tactics games, the ones I've played, are largely like story driven, and they all kind of do similar stuff. The ones I've played, by the way, are things like Ogre Battle 64, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and maybe there was a third one in there somewhere, but I think it was mostly those two. And I liked both of these games quite a lot. And those are very different from one another. I guess it was the old Ogre Battle games that looked like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. But yeah, Ogre Battle 64 was pretty cool. Anyway, the storylines were a big part of it, because just doing tactics battle after tactics battle turned out to be a little bit exhausting, I guess. You need something to mix it up a bit. And then at some point, I kind of realized a lot of RPGs have a grindiness to them that isn't necessarily fun for me. Like, old me loved the idea of Diablo 2 or World of Warcraft, and how your characters kind of take forever to build up, and then you feel like, okay, well, I made this character, I've got this level of power, I learned how they play over the course of growing them. But current me kind of just wants to play a game. Whoops. And not spend tens of hours getting to a certain level. All right, anyway, this is looking good. So now what we need to do is get all of these perks to use the right icons. So probably before I alphabetize these, let's go copy these. And then let's alphabetize them. Done. Now we need to go modify all of the individual perks to have the right icons. So start buildings. There. Starting adventurers. Oops. Try it. There. Start with town perks. It should just know what I want to change, right? At some point, it just fill these in for me. Farm crop value. Battle perk cost. Power leveling. Yeah. Well, at least it's easy to do. Hey, Bazingo. Are you using dedicated keys to move between certain windows like VS Code and browser, or are you simply using Alt-Tab? Yeah, I'm using dedicated keys. It's coming from something I'm using called Hammer Spoon. If you're on Windows, you could use Auto Hotkey for it. If you're on Mac, you could use Hammer Spoon. Free guild supplies. So basically, if I want to go to the browser, I press Alt-1, which, I mean, I guess wasn't obvious because it went to Twitch chat. But anyway, if I press Alt-1 to go to the browser, Alt-3 to go to VS Code, Alt-5 to go to my terminal, Alt-2 to go to Finder. These shortcuts all match what I had on Windows, because on Windows, let me see if I can find a picture of this. Yeah, on Windows, whatever, I don't know if any of these count, but whatever your first icon is, that's Windows key 1, and then Windows key 2, and then Windows key 3. And these numbers correspond to what I had on Windows. Oh yeah, the Flappy one. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to click that, Rohit, on stream. But, yeah, I was just kind of curious, what game were you working on? Free guild supplies. Okay, so that's here. I already filled that in. Now free treasure chests. Auto fishing. Enemy stat. We're almost done with this. Marine mana. Fish give gold. And finally, greedy garbage slime, which is something about the warehouse. Yeah. This is called, yeah, greedy garbage slime. Okay, and then the last thing we need to do is copy these to the right places. So this one's a little bit harder. In fact, let's copy all this stuff over here. I'm playing around with Windows key number. Yeah, and by the way, if you have, let's say, like 2 different Explorer windows open, and you hold Windows key and press your Explorer number twice, it'll go between the windows. So that on its own is already pretty useful. I probably wouldn't do anything else, but I do highly recommend rearranging. I closed that already. I highly recommend rearranging your taskbars such that they are your most used apps. So for me, it was the browser was number one. Then I think Explorer, then VS Code, then my notes, and then my terminal. And those 5 are really all I cared about. And that way you can, with just your left hand, access them all pretty easily. So don't use whatever Windows gives you by default. Probably not as helpful. Okay, so how do we do this? We need to go into the abilities folder. We're there. And then we need to copy this CP, no, other way around. Yeah, I gotta do this for all of them. Hey, nice. This is where AI really shines. That's great. Okay, now I want to do that for all of these too. Can it just change the other ones for me? Please do it. Yes, great. All right, we're putting a lot of trust in this, but well, we're going to take a picture of what we had here. Actually, I don't really need a picture, do I? I guess we need to know which icons are which. And then a picture of this. I don't really need this. It's just the last 3. So now I'm going to copy all these commands. I'm going to paste them in here. And they should all work. It looks like they did. Now I'm going to go into Godot so it gets all the import files. And then we're going to run this. And we should have icons for everything. They won't be unique, but we'll have them. Chrome, Obsidian, VS Code, and File Explorer. But the kind of annoying thing is that I'm quite often using Chrome with 2 different Google accounts. You could always just make it so that you got 2 different... Wait, no, maybe you can't do that. I was going to say you have 2 different windows open and one is using Profile 1 and the other is using Profile 2. And then just swap between them with Windows key 1 a couple times. But yeah, you could use Auto Hotkey. The problem is it might be hard for you to find the window that contains the right profile. So like if you look at my Hammerspoon script, this is not Auto Hotkey, but window navigation, the way that I do this is just by passing in the package of the window, the application, excuse me. So like Chrome is com.google.chrome. So I don't need to do anything too crazy here, but I do have something that goes to Twitch chat. Where's that? Yeah, go to the tab in Chrome that has Twitch chat. So the way this tries to work is it's got this function, which runs a script, which gets the browser, goes through all browser windows, and tries to find one whose URL bar matches the thing I passed in. So let's say I have this and this open, and this had the focus, and I go to VS Code, and then I go to Twitch chat. It actually did activate this tab, but it didn't put the focus in the right spot, which is unfortunate. I guess the focus just needed to be there by default. Yeah. So like you can do a lot with scripting, and Auto Hotkey lets you do that too. So there's probably something similar that you could do for that and go to your specific profile. All right, so I started this up. Is it looking good? Nice. And yeah, nice. All right, let's see if these all match. Battle perk cost, power leveling, stronger hires, grant storage, free guild supplies. Yep. It's looking good, Cool. Could probably also make that open the tab if it's not already open. Yeah, you could. You definitely could. For me, I pretty much need the chat to be open before the stream. But yeah, if you have some specific scenario like, oh, hey, I want to find the weather today. Well, actually, I guess for that, you'd probably just always open a new tab. Because what are the odds you have a weather tab open already? All right, this looks so much better than what we had before this. And if I start a game, now we should only see those things show up. It might be a little bit hard to get this offered to us. Oh no, there it is, free yield supplies. Okay, cool. We only need to test with one of them, and it worked. Whew. All right, let's go modify art requests. So last modified, it's been about a month. Art requests, icons, perk icons. All right, we've got quite a lot of these. But it's all the ones I just said here. So I guess let's get this CP command. Copy the... Oh, this is not going to be easy, is it? No, we need to take it from here. Yeah. All right, so there are all of the things that we need. This is... I'll just take pictures of all of them. I think it'll be easy. Bone mode icons. Start with buildings. Okay, TDM alert. This is not going to be fast, but it will be very easy. We got to do this another like 13 times. It's just taking screenshots of everything so that Quickie Joe knows what these icons were for. Start with town perks. Yeah. No real thought that needs to be put into this. So this is what I consider peak bricklaying. This is something that needs to be done. It's got to be done at some point. It's not super important, but no matter when we do it, it's going to look like this. There's no real working around this. I guess the only way would be is if I knew how to draw, then I guess I wouldn't need to write this in the document. I'd just be opening up an art program and drawing stuff. But I really like what Quickie Joe has done for everything. Stronger hires. Yeah, and at least Atom art won't show in the game. The reason that's important is because I have asked a YouTuber to try to cover this. And if they do, I'd prefer them to not show random Atom art icons in the middle of their videos and be like, oh, I guess this isn't done yet. It just shows that it's a work in progress. And it's nice to have the illusion that it's a finished piece of work. Also, the more you show signs that it's unfinished, the more people will just assume everything is unfinished. And then if they're like, oh, well, I don't really like this feature, but maybe it's not final. And that's also problematic because then they're not judging your actual feature. Or I guess they are. They're judging it poorly. Oh, that didn't work. All right, we only have 4 more of these. All right, enemy stat multiplier. Marine mana. Fish give gold. And the last one is greedy garbage slime. There. Okay. Now let's just trim these down a little bit. This I'm not going to spend a lot of time on. Ayers, hey, thanks for the resub. It's going well. How have you been? I saw you were streaming, I think, yesterday. But I haven't been on Twitch a whole lot. I just recently changed my workout schedule so that I'm working out in the morning. And actually, I do tend to watch Twitch a little bit more in the morning now. And today I was in Tim Bodette's channel because he started working on his 100-day game. But yeah. I hope you're well. I appreciate the resub. We are slowly moving forward toward a new playtest version of this game. Been okay? Schedule's been all over the place. How's the job situation, if it's okay to ask? Because I know that there have been various frustrations that you've voiced on your stream about AI, the direction of things. Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. I think things are going well here. Still looking. Yeah, things are going well here. I've just been doing, in my opinion, what needs to be done. We had challenge mode and we had like iteration, let's say 1, 2, and 3. I feel like we're on iteration 4 right now. What will launch this Friday. And it's been about maybe 2 months since we started this. Can't hear that guy's name. Who? I forgot what I said. because I don't know the reference you're talking about either. So, do you have some convenient way of adding a span? So shortcuts? Oh, Tim, I see. Yeah. I have a shortcut apostrophe edit, which will open up the folder that has all the shortcuts. So that's my quick way of adding them. But otherwise, no, I just copy paste one of these and add a new one. But they're all in my categories that I have already. So like if there's an emoji I want to type, I'll just take any other emoji and add it in. But I pretty much have all the emojis I've been using. I can't think of whether there's something else I've wanted in a while. And what's nice too is you can have multiple completions for these. So as an example, like I can type apostrophe plus, or I could type apostrophe and a plus sign. And since you can have as many as you want, if I was ever like, I don't know, addition or something, and it didn't work, I just go edit the file and add it. This is a tip I actually learned reading about cleaning advice. Or was it cleaning? It was something like, wherever you look first for a lost item, that's where that item should go after you find it. And I've tried applying this for all of the notes that I take and for all of the shortcuts that I use. It's like, if you try pressing a shortcut and you do Command D and it doesn't do what you want it to do, make it be Command D afterward. Like, that's what you tried doing in the first place. So that's what you'll probably try doing in the future. So just rebind it. It's like, if you're looking for a note and you're searching for whatever, I don't know, hotkey, and you actually wrote this word shortcut, then just modify your notes to have shortcut / hotkey in it. And now you'll find it next time. And you'll see me do that all over in my notes. If you search for KW : does it not like when you do that? Yeah, there we go. We've got, that's KW is for keyword, which is something I tried searching for and couldn't find originally. Write that down. Hey, Sinistella. Anyone suggested swapping items, like clicking on a warehouse spot? Yes, they have. And I think that's reasonable. I'll leave the item for you. Okay, yeah. I wasn't familiar with that. Also, I didn't realize Motel 6 was an actual motel. It sounds like it's a band name or something. All right. So all of this is pretty straightforward, I bet. We can ignore all the SVG files. I don't care about those. I want to see code changes. Wow, there's a lot of this. Oh man, come on. When does it stop? Hello, end of files. There it is. So we just need to make sure that the names generally match. Oh, I can't imagine there's a problem. I would have seen it, right? Yeah, auto fishing, battle perk cost, enemy stat, farm crop value, fish give gold. Yeah, so far everything's looking good. Like I said, it would have been pretty hard to mess this up because they're just pictures. And I looked at the pictures already. Yeah, nice. And then the manifestations of the paths that we have. The only thing I don't think I looked at was this, but no, that looks good too. Cool. All right, so make placeholder icons for the new stuff. Oh, you know what we should look for? Icon ID.none. Where does that show up? Anywhere? Employee discount. Oh. Drat. Oh man. Okay, so how many more of these do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 more icons. Okay, I'll do that later. I don't want to do this more right now. More cleanup. There are 6 perks that can show in the game that I never added icons for. Wait a second. Wait a second. Employee discount just shows by default? So do these things? I mean, I like them. I wonder what should be considered unlocked or not. No lights on the keyboard? No, I have the camera working again this time, so you can look at my face. Have you seen the Eliza chatbot? It's pretty cool to see such a chatbot being made in 1964. Have you ever done any NLP stuff? I haven't seen Eliza, no. And what is NLP? Natural language processing? Um, I guess I have. Yeah, I made, what's it called? Vocal streamer? Yeah. So this is something like if I say engage privacy mode, it's not exactly natural language processing, but it's like verbalized language processing, which is kind of interesting. But it's more dictation than it is any AI based thing. But that's the closest I've got, I'd say. I'm surprised I never realized to want that. Yeah. All right. So there's 6 perks that can show in the game that never add icons for. Just search for icon ID dot none. Maybe these should be unlocked perks. Although I like that you start with, yeah, maybe these should be unlocked perks. They should probably just be in the base game, at least some of them. I missed a few. Well, I'm not gonna write anything else. These look better than seeing Adam art in the game. Okay, so done with that. Next, rename num pool perks unlocked. I think we call this like num perks unlocked and nothing else there. You unlock perks as you complete runs. This indicates how many of those you've unlocked. Yeah. All right, but we need that to match everywhere. Num pool perks unlocked. Yeah, I gotta search for this and replace it here. This is gonna break save files, but no one has this save file yet, so it doesn't matter. And that's been changed too. Why is this red then? For no reason. And then perks to add to the pool. Really? Shouldn't this just be called unlocked perks? Unlockable perks. So let's look at the references of this and see if that name makes sense. This is perk pool perks tree. Oh god. Just be like unlockable perks tree. Maybe. Yeah, because this is kind of stupid. And this shouldn't have been named like that, huh? In fact, I gotta look through all the code now and see how I messed that up. What's that say? Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's look through it. So what do we have? That's fine. I should have just had it match capitalization. Unlockable perks, totally cool. Num perks unlocked, looks good. Yep, 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 yep. Good, good. Cool. Yeah, nice. Everything's good. But how does the computer understand what you're saying? Is there a specific sentence for which it'll work, or does it understand what you're saying? You can look at the code for this. It's actually pretty straightforward. So there is something called local vocal, which uses Whisper to transcribe to stream captions. And then, yeah, I just end up looking for specific phrases in the stream captions. So like I said, this isn't exactly NLP, but there is some AI involved through Whisper, at least, for transcription. So this is done. Do we ever have the word pool anywhere else in the game? Unlock more pool perks. Maybe this should say unlock more perks. Yeah, where else do we have the word pool? Because sometimes I use the word pool to refer to something else. This is not one of those cases. And none of these are any of these cases. So this should be num unlockable perks total. Yeah. Anywhere else we have the word pool? Pool waves. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. See, that's an innocuous version of pool. Same thing with this. In fact, all the enchanted and stuff is probably innocuous. This and all of these, I'm less. I think we should just rename this. Yeah. Fine, I didn't want to do this, but it's not that hard to do. This would be unlockable perks tree. And now we need the file to be named differently. Perk pool unlockable perks tree. Save. So this is gone. And now the word pool should only show up in this one spot. You unlock perks that will show up in runs. Yeah. So if the game builds, I think that's pretty much proof enough that this is working, but going into this, we'll definitely confirm or deny this. That doesn't look good. Oh, you know why? Because I renamed the save file too. Oh man. All right, fine. What Mac am I using? I've got it in the specs commands. And hey, Cyprian, welcome in. All right, so let's run this again, and then let's go, clear a couple of runs. I'm going to just cheat. So we have no unlocked perks right now, and we have no points. But I'm going to start a scenario, and we're just going to force a win, and it'll give us 2 more perks, right? Yeah. In fact, I almost wonder if the title of this tab should say unlocked perks and then the number here. Kind of want it to be a single solid project for my CV instead of building a bunch of average projects. What is neat? I know you mentioned this a couple times now. I don't know what that means. And Bing doesn't either. Huh, yeah, I've never... Oh, maybe it's in... Oh, neuroevolution of augmenting topologies? I see. Asking because I think I'm going to go with a Mac Mini, 512 gigabytes. I think the new Macs are all very powerful. And there are, I think, a couple of considerations. One is, are you doing any sort of like intense computing? I'll just put that in quotes. So things like video editing / production, I don't know, CAD stuff for 3D modeling, maybe any AI or LLM stuff. Are you doing anything like that? And probably just the more RAM you have, the better at that point. Are you doing any gaming? And do you need a lot of internal storage? Hey, Binder News. Thank you for the raid. How went the stream? It's Spooktober. Can we make something spooky in game? Did you end up making something spooky in game? And is Mashing here too? Because welcome in. Genetic, yeah, yes, he is. The genetic algorithm to evolve neural networks. I see. What's the goal of adding any sort of neural network to Flappy Bird? Is it to get it to play itself? Because that could be interesting. Adding scarecrows and crows, neat. And yeah, please do try to be mindful of segmenting Mashing. Oh yeah, cool. I hope the stream went well. And welcome in, everybody. Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say, Cyprian, is I don't think you can go wrong with really any of the new Macs. And I think the Mac Minis are a good combination of price and power. And rarely would people have probably said that in the past about Macs. They would have been like, well, the price is super high, but, it's a good computer. But Mac Minis, I think, are actually closer to where they should be in terms of value. And then making a crow that goes caw. Accidentally made it caw the wrong way. So poops a caw, which I found hilarious. Yeah, I guess if Halloween and April Fools landed on different days every year and they ever overlapped, you could do that. Have it poop out the caw for that. But otherwise, yeah. All right, this is looking good. And I got the 2 perks in here, right? Yeah, I did. Yeah, so we were working on Bone mode for a while. Bone stands for business optimizations via new expansions. The whole idea is that you've already beaten the game. So now let's see how quickly you can keep getting to the sort of max town. So it's just a mode for fun. It's just meant to be a way for you to keep playing if you want to. So rename pool perks to unlockable. Yeah, that's it. That's all we did. I don't even think there's anything to look through here. Also added a UID file. Oh, no, it didn't. I renamed. There are only 8 modified files. Looks the good. Yeah. Commit that. So all that stuff is done. Now we're on to content. Now's the time to add a bunch of perks. Think of some more generated ones. You know what, though? I think adding a new spell would be kind of interesting. Faux potions. Yeah, I think this will be interesting. We have the enchanter in the game, and they have 3 spells right now. And I want to add a 4th one. So I think what we want to do is we want to move these things around a bit so we can fit a 4th spell book. Then we also need to figure out what color it should be. So colors we have right now is a blue book on a green stand, a green book on a red stand, a purple book on a blue stand. So we don't have a red book and we don't have a purple stand. Yeah, so let's do that. A red book on a purple stand. And I wonder if at this point it makes sense to like recolor the book somehow. Also, we're going to need a new symbol on it. I'll probably just draw a triangle myself. Or something, I don't know. Yeah, so make a red book on a purple stand. And I think we lay them out in a 2x2. We could put it over here, but I think we need to extend this little dirt area over to where the books are. Actually, I think that would look nice. Because as a 2x2, you'd have them in a square like this. And we probably bump these up a little bit. I guess we can just mock it up and see what happens. Enchanter Den. I don't think this should be very hard to code. Oh, right. There's also the crystals that show up in front. I forgot about those. So we should be testing this out in story mode, huh? So I build the enchanter. And then I get auto casting, save and load. Yeah. Hey, Flare. Nice llama. Man. Okay. Well. Do we put him in a line? Because if we do, we just need to get rid of this bush. That's not that hard to do. But if we put him in a square, we need to get rid of like all of this stuff. I don't really think it matters too much. So let's start working on this change. This is a spell book. And it has 2 book sprites. And the sprites have different textures. And we don't have the new texture that we need. That's okay though. So let's, what are we calling this? Oops. Item spell. So let's duplicate this. And let's move the whole thing. And let's make sure that this makes sense. Where are these? Are these tiles? No, that doesn't even exist. There's the building. Oh, the building graphic contains the stands? Oh. I didn't realize. Llama's a big hit. Oh, man. Open an external program. Yeah, so I need to modify this image. Okay, well, it's not that hard to do. But I also wonder if this is how we should do it. Don't we have graphics in the marketplace thing? Where is that? World Enchanter. Where's the marketplace? Here it is. Yeah, just open this. Don't we have stands in here? Oh, they're not combined though. Oh, also we do have a book. We already have a red book, so I don't even need to make that. And we already have a red, purple tablecloth thing. But they don't look the same, do they? No, not quite. But that's okay. I can just copy the colors. That should be easy. So I got to go modify this graphic We got to extend this by exactly this much, which is 24 pixels. Okay. Image canvas size width is going to be 166. And I think we're good. Okay, so now we copy this and move this off to the side. Perfect. Then we merge this down, and now we get the right colors. So we're going to take it from here. There should be, what, 4 colors? The top border, the left and bottom borders, the fill color, and then this lighter color. I think that's it. This is Adam doing art? No, this is Adam copying colors, because that's what Adam knows how to do. Adam is unable to do anything better than this. All right, so that's the top border. And then that color is somewhere else as well. Wait, is there some way to select all colors in here that match a certain thing? I think there is. Select by color. Yes, but then I only wanted to have this section. So what do? Shift click? Command click? Command click. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now I use the paint bucket on here. And I guess this and all of these. Nice. So now we just keep doing that. So we got to get that same blue color. The blue color is this middle part. All right, that should be pretty simple. Then the lighter color is the bottom part. Oops. Oh God, what'd I do? Okay, nothing. I'm fine. And then the darkened border is this color. So again, we do select by color and we get this border. And then I only want, whoa, what am I doing? Yeah, I only want this. And we got to get rid of it from here too. And I might have messed something else up when I did this. I hope not. Well, you know what we can do? We can just copy the stand after I'm done with this. And that way I wouldn't have messed anything else up. All right, so now I just paint over all of these. And I think that's it. This should look like a purple stand now. No, it looks bad. I think I used the wrong colors. Yeah, I think I used the wrong color. The outer border should be darker. How'd I mess that up? Because it's supposed to be this color, I guess. Did I paint the wrong one here? I think you flipped the top and bottom colors. I might have. This is the dark blue that shows up on this border. But on the purple one, it's just not dark. I don't see what I did wrong. But yeah, I think we just need to swap these two colors. Okay, well, then let's just pick bright red in the meantime, and that way we know which colors we got to replace. So that's color 1. Now color 2, we want the lighter one for this. Doesn't seem right to me. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. And then we go back to this and take the darker color and paste that where the red is. Is that better? Yeah, it's pretty good, right? Yeah. I think it's good. Okay. So then we can copy all of this and make sure I did not ruin the original image. So now we're just going to Command Z a whole bunch of times until this is blank. There, perfect. Now we paste in the new one and move everything. I've messed up. Oh God. What have I done? Okay, there it is. I was like, I don't want to have to redo all that. And then we can merge this down and we should have our full enchanter thing. Perfect. So now export as, done. And now we can add in the book. So now I have this new graphic. It got nudged by 24 pixels, I guess. Transform position plus 24. That's not right. Maybe because it was centered. Maybe we need to do minus 12. Whoops. Yeah, I'm messing everything up. What have I done? So this is where things were once I modified this image. I still am not totally sure. I guess because this was centered. Yeah, that's why. It's fine to still center it. I guess we just add 12 to this. But I didn't increase the size of the canvas. So then what, this stuff all needs to be moved by 12 pixels in the other direction? Oh yeah, okay, that's easy then. I don't know why the mana crystal is just floating in the middle of nowhere though. Yeah, because that's going to be totally wrong. As are all of these things. But we can subtract 12 from all of them. Okay, good, good. And this one too. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the crystal is going to be in the wrong spot, but maybe it's positioned by the game itself and not by this scene. Oh, you can select multiple and do that? Interesting. I didn't know that. All right, load our game. How's this looking? Yeah, nice. That's in the right spot. This is all looking good. This doesn't exist according to the game code. Also, it's got a blue book. We got to fix that too at some point. And we got to remove that bush. Yeah. Environment. The other way that we could have the bush get removed is by extending the size of the enchanter den. It might already have something that's returning its size. It doesn't. Wait, it really doesn't? Get size. There it is. Get size and pixels this. Oh, this won't work. This won't work. Because it's doing it based on a tile map layer, which is this. So I guess what we need to do is keep this there and extend this a little bit. So if I just click this and then draw in like that even. Let me just do that. Let's see what happens. This will probably break everything. It might make that bush go away, although I made it visible, so it's also going to make the ground visible underneath and it'll look bad. And it didn't make the bush go away anyway. Oh, and I don't think we clear out any of this stuff. Hold on a second. No, we do. We clear out this at least. Yeah. Okay, I think I kind of know what's happening here. Town, create enchanter. We have this width in tile -1 divided by 2. I don't think we need the -1 anymore. There might be more to it than this. We'll figure all this out. This will be easy enough to do. It's going to take me a little while. And if I should just manually delete the bush, then I will, but I don't think I have to. All right, so now it's even further off. I guess I did it in the wrong direction then. Just close out of this. That's better. I only added, I guess I added 24 pixels, which is a tile and a half. I guess that's why this is failing. Hmm. I'm still messing this up. Is it even going in the right direction, I wonder? I can take care of this a little later. Oh no, worries. I can do this stuff. Plus I just added like 12 icons that I think you're gonna have to make now. I feel bad about that. All right, now we're getting there. Oh, and I got rid of the bush. Okay, cool. So all we need to do now is hide this, and I think we're good. Yeah, nice. Perfect. Okay, looking good. So this last spell is not actually functional. We have a spell ID somewhere. We have customer, worker, item, and this last one is going to be called faux potions. And the way it's going to work is that it's going to act like the extractor has potions being put into it, even though it doesn't. So it's going to slowly fill up the farm and the fishing pond. And that way your potions could just be sold. And we can increase the potency of the spell too. I should probably figure out the details of all that stuff. All right, what are we going to call this though? Potions, I guess? Because it could also fill the weapon grinder. But I think that's maybe a little too much. All right, let's go get all this stuff in. So item spell 2. This is going to be called potion spell. And then the enchanter den is going to get that and probably do a bunch of stuff. Item spell book. So we want potion spell book. And then everywhere we have item, we'll just do this. Item doubling bonus from spell. What are you going to say? Potion. Faux potions from spells. Yeah, let's just return 5 and just write a to do, fix this. Item, spellbook. Potion spell, that's what that's called. Yep, nice. Initialize that with potions. Cool. And that's it. So now what does initialize look like? This sets the book. Set texture, yeah. And we get a region based on spell data. We don't have spell data for this. All right, copy paste this. Call it potion. And go figure out, oh, it's not called potion, potions. I guess if all the other ones are singular, this should also be singular. Potion. Good. All right, now we go find the book graphic. Book graphic is right there. No, wait, it's a red book. Book graphic is right there. So it's, we use the blue book, don't we? I don't have a picture anymore. Yeah, we use the blue book. It's the one with the circle on it. That doesn't have a circle on it, though. Where does that book come from? Do we have specific graphics for that? Spell books. Oh, cool. We do. Oh, well then, all right. I'll just go make 2 new books. This, again, should be pretty simple. I'm just going to copy paste what already exists. All right, so what size is this? This is 114. So 114 divided by 3. We have 38 pixels per book. So we're going to add 38 more pixels. So this will be 152. And then we're not going to center it. We're going to do that. And now I need to add in the red book and the open red book. So we need 38 pixels worth of stuff like that. So paste that over there. Perfect. Now we replace the blue book with this. Does this match? No, the shadows don't match. Well, not really, nothing matches. All right, whatever. We'll just draw this manually. Should be simple. So do these match? We have that blue color. Yep. No, they don't match. So we can't just copy paste colors. Yeah. I could apply the same lightning, I guess. But I think what I'll do is I'll just hue shift this whole thing. Yeah. And then maybe Quickie Joe will modify the rest of that. There. All right, so hue. Change to red. No, this is going to look like garbage, won't it? Yeah, it will. What does this thing do? Whoa. That could work. I think it's a little bit too much. There's another way you can change this, which is hue and saturation. So what if I change the hue over here? Yeah, that's better, I think. No, it's not really. Yeah, it's going to look ugly if I do this myself. Okay, fine. Then let's just leave it as... Actually, no, you know what? I will make it look obviously red, and we'll just have it stand out a little bit more, I guess. And then I'll talk to Quickie Joe about this. I'm doing a really shoddy job of finding where red is. Yeah, whatever. That's good enough. All right, so we need these same values. 106, 80. I'll just make it 107. 107 and 14 and 11. 107, 14, 11. All right, good. And then same thing with this. And that. And that. And maybe that 1 pixel. I don't know. Hey, where your eyes? Hey, Fairomund. Hue transforms are a bit wonky. Yeah, and since I'm assuming Quickie Joe will end up making this new book, I don't need to do anything too crazy here. There. All right. Oh, we already had a... whatever. I'm not redoing this. And then we need a new little graphic on it. That I can do because we're going to make it be a filled in rectangle. So I'm going to click this and just do... Oh, why is that not working? Oh, because it's not selected. That's not even the color I want. What's going on right now? I have red selected and I'm drawing in green somehow. Except for outside of this, I'm not. What? I don't understand that at all. Oh, cool. Okay, fixed. My only problem is it looks stupid. So let's have it be... I don't know what I'm doing. There. It looks very dumb. I'm an artiste. Okay, so overwrite spellbooks. And then let's go get the new spellbook. So that is going to be this plus 38. And we're done. Unpressed button rect. What is this? I don't know what this even is. I don't know what that is. It's... Oh, it's not the same for all of these. Then I guess we just add 11 to this. 44. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Color when cast. Color dot red, I guess. Spell is going to be called faux potions. Description to do fill this in. And then text color. So if I make this file CSS and I type color colon this, and I do like dot foo, it should give me a color selector, right? Why is it not doing that? Do I need a... Ah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so there's our color selector. That actually already is red. We put red particles on a purple spell? No, that's a text color. Oh, yeah. Does it match the stand? No. Why is that supposed to be red? Yeah, it says loop magnet in red. And the other one's showing it. I think that was just an oversight. I think that should be purple. Because the spellbook is purple and they're purple particles. Well, then we're going to take this color for down here and we're going to find a purple color for the other one. Do you use Vim motions? No, I don't. All right, well, we're just going to change this to purple. Yeah, whatever. Just copy this. All right, let's go run that. Hey, Soli. You know, I'm streaming on 3 platforms right now. I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Steam. And Steam, I just outright ignore because no one's ever watching or chatting there. YouTube, I have open, and I probably get like at most 2 unique chatters per day. And part of the reason why is I have it set to sub only. And it's because YouTube chat is just generally garbage, in my opinion. In Twitch, I pay attention to. But I was wondering if I should add Kick into this mix. And I think the answer is no. I went and looked at Kick's like software dev category. They only had 3 streamers. I can't even find it now. Ah, there it is. Okay, right now they have a total of 9 viewers in their software category. So it's like, I could just treat it like Steam, stream to it and just completely ignore it. But I don't even think that's worthwhile to go stream there. Instant top 10. Yeah, I think they have 6 streams right now. So you'd be in the top 7 for sure. Kick has virtually no programming streams. Yeah, apparently botting's also a huge problem over there. And I mean, the whole thing is funded on gambling money. So you got to figure out if you're okay with that. Please continue streaming on YouTube. I don't comment a lot, but your streams basically keep me sane while I work from home. Oh yeah, I'll keep streaming on YouTube. And hey, Hamilton, I don't plan on stopping that. And actually, Twitch stats for me have been like completely dying down. I'm not sure why. And YouTube stats have been like slightly picking up. I am not really investing anything in discoverability anywhere. I think if you wanted people on Twitch, you'd have to find them on another platform at this point, because there just aren't that many people in the software and game dev category. And it's not that watchable of a topic to begin with. I think most of you are probably using me for background noise. Not that I mind. Yeah, like if we look at software and game dev on Twitch right now, this person has 6.6 thousand views, which is incredibly unusual. But I don't know, maybe not for this person. I've never seen them before. And then Lana's at 200 something, and then it's like I'm number 4 with 71 viewers. It's like that probably shouldn't be happening. It'd be nice if there were more viewers in the category, but yeah. It's not the quantity, it's the quality. Yeah, I've said this before. I don't particularly care about increasing the view count too much, but I do like understanding trends. And I also I don't want it to dip below a certain level, because like I get a certain value by having people to talk to and bounce ideas off of. They just like the background noise. Yeah, I think that's the most reasonable thing. When I've had higher viewership on Twitch, I think the most approachable stuff I've done has been visually appealing stuff and something people can relate to. So like the top streams for that were probably when I was making a Minecraft plugin. Then any front-end web dev, a lot of people can relate to that too. And then beyond that, any front-end anything. And then beyond that, it's anything else. And the lowest of everything I've ever done was when I was making an NES ROM. Nobody cared about that. And I don't blame them. It was assembly code. No one's going to code in assembly code. No one's going to make an NES ROM. Like, it's the least approachable stuff. Whereas Minecraft, everyone's heard of Minecraft. Most people have played Minecraft. A lot of people have tried modded Minecraft or could at least understand what I was working on. So I get that that's like right now I'm doing game dev, but rarely am I doing something visual with game dev. Like, yes, I happen to be modifying some artwork right now. This is understandable, although I'm not an artist. But yeah, a lot of times I'm just like, okay, we're going to go work on like challenge mode constraints for 8 hours. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I truly am not. I find this stuff interesting. Like I've said, I've had more viewers in the past and I found it hard to focus, and I've had fewer viewers and I've wanted to grow, and I think it's at a good point right now with the stream. It's just kind of strange that the view count dropped by like, I don't know, 30%, and I'm not totally sure why. Maybe bots in the software channel. Maybe scraping to train AI models. Man, I wonder how hard it is to sue a company over your code appearing in AI. Like, what if what if they did scrape this and we saw like spellid.worker and there were all these same variable names or something? And I'm like, huh, sure seems like they trained on my data, but how did they get my data? It's odd hours. Yeah. Also, if your channel is made around a particular niche, I think it's easier to maintain viewers there. But if you were bouncing between a bunch of topics and you happen to go to something super technical, you'll probably lose people. Developing the system is much more interesting than watching creating graphics for the game. I think for some people it is, but I think for a lot of people, they want to understand what's going on. And just by virtue of me having whatever I have in the title, day 233 or something, it's like, okay, this is a long project. It probably won't be done soon. I have a lot I would need to understand to watch this. So I generally think if you want to appeal to people, you need short projects. You need a lot of like front end-ish stuff. But ideally what you really need is just like tech opinions. You need to react to news. You need to talk about things. You need to stir up some drama a little bit. I don't want to do that stuff. Hey, Devil Dog. For the visual aspects, yeah, I think it's just easier to understand for a lot of people. It's more accessible to watch. Okay, so now there's no book there. Although when we hover over this, that works. When you cast it, I'm guessing it breaks everything. It just hid the... Oh, invalid spell ID potion. Interesting. I get people asking me my opinion. I don't mind sharing my opinion when something I've actually used or know about. Like if people are like, what do you think about VS Code? Like I'm happy to talk about that. Or I don't know, the keyboard I'm using or whatever technology I'm using at the time. But I think a lot of times it's like, oh, hey, what is this, current news in the web dev world where people are getting hijacked or something, or there's supply chain attacks. And it's like, it's not really much of an opinion I can even share, right? The attacks are bad. We should try to protect against them. I'm coding a Godot game, so you don't have to. I don't like the implication that it's like making a Godot game is bad, or that Godot is bad. Yeah. Okay, so invalid spell ID. We're gonna do this potion, and I'm gonna just write to do figure this out. I have to keep saying figure this out because I don't know what the spell is gonna do yet. I need to formulate that, and I haven't. And yeah. So anywhere else, if we do spell ID.item, get ability description tooltip. Yeah, I'm gonna need that. On enchanter den spell was cast. I don't have that yet either. Everything else looks pretty much fine. So why did this disappear? Oh, because of the exception? That was an exception, right? It's probably an exception. Yes. No, it wasn't. Wait, so then, yeah, why'd that disappear? And why is the book not there? Oh, hey, there are particles coming out of it at least. That's nice. And this probably says, yeah, faux potions is enabled. And if I click loop magnet, it's now in purple, which I like. That's pretty cool. Maybe make it a little bit darker. But yeah, what is going on with these books? Oh, maybe I didn't click Godot. Yeah, I didn't click Godot. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Although it still doesn't explain why the crystal disappeared. It would explain why the book wasn't there. So now the book should be there. Yeah, the book's there. If I click this, it opens. It's got the red particles. It's got the red outline. I like that. If I click this, it's gone. So we got to figure out what's going on with auto casting. Probably it just doesn't know that there's a fourth crystal. Set up auto casting, show auto cast controls, auto cast button not show. That's all working. When you click that, what happens? It goes to toggle autocast. On toggle autocast goes to the enchanter's den. The enchanter's den. Huh. I don't see a problem with this. And there's no exception, right? No. What is going on? Oh, I know what's missing. There are colorful crystals, right? Where are those? Autocast crystals. Yep, here they are. And I don't have a color for the last one. Oh, okay. That's easy. All right, so what's the canvas size of this? 44. So we got to make this 55. Looks good. Then we copy the first 11 pixels and paste and move. And then, that was probably stupid. I should have copied a colorful one, huh? Yes, I should have. Okay, let's copy this. Oh, what am I doing? Merge down, copy, paste. There. And then I did this stupidly again because we can't tell where the green of the crystal stops. I should just copy the blue one. I'm going to get this. I'm going to figure out why I don't know how to copy paste in this program either. All right, but now I accidentally doubled the shadows up. Man, I've done the worst possible job at this. Merge. Okay, so delete, 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 and then copy this with the right amount of shadow. Why can't I move it? What am I doing wrong? I don't know what I'm doing. All right, well, I guess we can just select by the color and then just draw it in with a pencil. Man. No, I can't do that. I don't know what's even, I don't know how to do this. Okay, let's just back up from the beginning. Let's just copy this in its entirety over to here. And we're done. Great. Now we select all of the bluish pixels. Which is all of that, these three, these two, and this one. And then I'm just gonna do a hue shift for this. Why is this acting weird? Why is this acting weird? Man, GIMP is like practically unusable at times. I'm letting go of the mouse and it's moving it across the screen. Like, look at this. The mouse is right there. I let go and it puts it on the right side of the screen. Why is that happening? We should probably just use the same numbers I used before, right? Like, I don't remember what they are, but I think it was like 144, 14, 11. Oh, that kind of looks pretty good. What was this at? 0? 144, 14. Something like that. I don't know. Fine. That's good enough. Hey, Rixa. Sent you a PM. Just want to let you know about my MIA status. Okay, yeah. And no worries. I can tell you already. Okay, so we got this. Let's overwrite this. I guess I'll add this to the art requests as well. Enchanter books. Sorry, I suck at this. I think all we need is... Where's the picture? Well, I guess I should restart the game, huh? All we need is the book, the open book, and the crystal. Yeah. So let me click. Let me take a picture of this so far. And then draw a rectangle around this. The open book, I want this to be red. Or sorry, the closed book. And then the open book and the crystal beneath it. So now we take a picture of that and that. Looks pretty good. Cool. These, I assume, are going to be incredibly easy for Quickie Joe to do. The icons, I think, are going to be a lot harder because he's got to come up with what they are. But this is really just like change some colors. I trust his artist eyes better than mine. Also, you know what else we can do? We can move this crystal slightly to the right because I think it'll look a little bit better that way. I should have taken a picture. Oh, I did take a picture. I took it right here. It's just a negative color. But now, yeah, I think that's centered a little bit better. All right, so you can only auto cast one spell. This looks pretty nice. And this is okay. It's just not the right red color, and the book isn't the right red color either. But yeah, cool. We can cast spells. If I save and load, it should know that it's already cast. Yeah, nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. So now you can have 4 spells cast at once, and that's what this would look like. Shopping Spree, Stalking Frenzy, Loot Magnet, Faux Potions. So we got to figure out what the spell does. I haven't done that yet. I have an idea. So this is done. So the idea was that every second this spell is active, fill the extractor with like X gold worth of faux potions. This will cause seeds to be planted and fish eggs to be put in the pond. So that's a valid way of doing this, but I think the problem is I don't know what we would do when the extractor is full. Do we allow it to keep accumulating? Because from a code perspective, that's very easy to do. We have accumulated values here, and I could just keep increasing these. However, what I'm concerned with here is that this is one of those spells that it's either useless or overpowered. But finding that middle ground is going to be really, really tough. So like every second give X gold. It's 2 gold for a seed. So if X equals 1, then we're giving you 30 gold. So we're giving you 15 seeds. And how much is a fish? A fish is 50. So we're not even giving you a single fish. Oh man. Maybe it shouldn't even be like putting potions in. So option 1 would be add to the accumulated value for the farm and the pond. We could even let these go beyond the maximum. And we could have different accumulated values or different deltas, I guess, for the farm versus the pond so that you get more than 1 fish. That's option 1. Option 2 is we just create seeds and fish for you and ignore the extractor. The goal is just prevent you from having to use your potions all the time. But I don't necessarily think it's to fill up the pond or the farm. I guess we could base how much we create on the size of the farm and the size of the pond. If you can hold 45 fish, we could make sure that you get 5 fish over 30 seconds. But when you can only hold 3, you get like 1 fish. If this is being auto cast, then you might be at the maximum amount of seeds and fish you can hold. Hey, Puppet. The week's been going really well. I wanted to get done with something by the end of today that we got done with yesterday. So I'm a day ahead of schedule. And the main goal for this week was just launch a new playtest version on Friday. We could launch it now, but I want to add some content today. So we're on track. That's the important part. How's your week been so far? So yeah, what should happen when you have this spell on autocast? Because like your farm and pond could just fill up and nothing would take care of them. I think it should just let you accumulate beyond the maximum. So I think what I'm leaning toward is all three of these things. This, and this. We just keep adding to the extractor value. We can let them go beyond the maximum so that you don't even need to put in more potions. You can go back to selling them. And we make it so that the pond value goes up faster than the farm value. I like this. Yeah, I like that. What seems more fun or engaging to the player? I would think maybe a bit less than one fish, but close. That way it's a player choice. Maybe a perk that allows you to go beyond the value in the extractor. All three of those perks you buy into with cash in game. Well, there are two scenarios we have to consider this for. Story mode and bone mode. And in story mode, I think this is... I don't know if there's going to be a corresponding perk that upgrades this. Maybe there would be. I guess there could be for the potency. Good feeling to be ahead of schedule. My week is good. Went back to running. So I'm in between races and my legs let me know about it. What length race are you doing? I imagine should feel like you're spending early game money to make your later game better, right? Well, you're going to start with this spell. When you have the enchanter, the spell will just be here. So when you're deciding like which spell is best for me to cast, it's going to be, do you have too many items in your stores? Do you have too many items on the ground or in your warehouse? Do you not have any items anywhere? Or do you want to be able to sell your potions again? So it's just figuring out like what effect should the spell have. And I do think I am leaning more toward this. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. And that way your potions can just be sold. Yeah. Doing 10K races. Prepping for a half marathon. Nice. Yeah, the most I think I've ever run in my life at once was 15K. And it was just the worst conditions for a race. The race itself was, I think, 3 loops. So like you started at point A and you went to point B. And then you went back to A and then back to B and then back to A and then back to B. It was so stupid. And it was like the windiest, rainiest day. It was gray. It was cold. It was just, oh, it was just so bad. I did not like that race at all. I was freezing by the end of it. I kind of just swore off running for a while after that. Then again, I don't really want to do races to begin with. If I'm going to go running, I want it to be like a social run. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with these options. Okay, so how do we phrase this for the player? Because one of the problems is you can't see the extractor value. So every second that this spell is active, apply... I guess if you could see the potions going in, that'd be kind of interesting. And we probably have some potion graphics we haven't used yet, right? I could create a potion and show it going into the extractor. Where are the items? Items here. Yeah, it could be like this, for example. Just some random little potion that goes in. Running to the fridge to get an ice cream. In Spooky Fest? No, I don't think so. I also would guess that it's not even applicable for Spooky Fest. I'm guessing this is more about horror stuff. Steam Scream Fest? Is that what you're talking about? Is this year? No, this is 2022. Is there an actual festival for this? And hey, Sarah. I made it up, but there's always a Halloween theme fest. Yeah. 2025 Steam Halloween Festival. If I could enter the demo, and that'd be great. Steam sales schedule. Hungry Ghost Festival. This is some random thing? I didn't even know this was possible. Steam Screen Fest 4. I would guess it's for horror games though, right? It sounds like it's this. Wonder how... They usually have a Steamworks page for the festival stuff. Oh, here it is. All right, so what is this? Games that emphasize Halloween and or spooky elements. Yeah, I don't really think this would be eligible. Please note that games that are not spooky but have spooky DLC are not eligible. They usually have some eligibility stuff here. Overall theme of your game must be spooky and or Halloween related. If only small portions or individual characters fit, then your title is not eligible. Having the following makes it likely a good fit. Skeletons. Having the following but without a paranormal or supernatural atmosphere or something similarly Halloween theme is not sufficient. Yeah, so I don't think this would fit. Because, like, yeah, we have skeletons, but it's not supposed to be spooky. It's not supposed to be too crazy. The skeletal hand icon qualifies you. No, Steam festivals usually try to be pretty narrow because otherwise they'd get everyone trying to enter them. It's in the name, but I still don't think this really fits. Yeah. Also, please do watch segmenting. Okay, so I think we're going to go code this. So now the question is, so every second that this spell is active, apply a potion to the extractor. A faux potion to the extractor worth 1 gold. So you get 30 gold worth of potion? No, that's not fair. Faux potion to the extractor. This will... You might not even have the fishing pond. This potion is guaranteed, or I guess like these potions are guaranteed to provide that can go beyond the maximum stored capacity. I don't know how to do this. The problem is there's a mechanic here that is not exposed to players. So to tell you, oh, hey, it violates that mechanic, we never even told players about the mechanic in the first place. So maybe the fix is to make it so that when you hover over this thing, it tells you here's how much stored value you have for the farm and here's how much you have stored for the pond. I guess we could do that. I didn't really want to expose this to the player. Yeah, so we hover over this and it says extractor. What do we say? Like overflow value for seeds. Or overflow seeds, we could say like 3, and overflow fish eggs. We can say like 0.24 or something. And then when we give you the faux potions spell, we could say something like, you know, creates whatever faux potions for the extractor that will always increase the overflow value. But I don't think it's going to be super clear. We'd probably need some like note potions worth more. I don't know. I don't know how we do this. Yeah, we need to explain what overflow is. It's not hard to add a tooltip. It's not hard to do this. It's hard to come up with how do we tell this to the player. Like, I guess you have to explain the rules here. Potions you add will automatically be converted into seeds/eggs. If you hit the limit for your farm or pond, they will become overflow seeds/eggs. Speaking of festivals, would you participate in like Idler Fest next Fed? Are there any others you think Skeleseller fits under? And do you think pre-fitting annual festivals that happen on Steam to your game design makes sense strategically? So I would definitely love to participate in Idler Fest, and I should look into that. So I'll write that down. Look into Idler Fest in 2026. Maybe I could even launch by then. Be nice to be able to do that. And then see if any other festivals are fitting. So the way that Steam does its festivals, I already kind of mentioned this. The festivals are usually pretty narrow in focus so that you have to really fit the theme of it. So for example, they might have like an automation game festival, and they explicitly say something like, you can't just have one automated element in the game. It needs to be an automated game. Like the whole point is you're getting the feel of an automated game so that the festival is cohesive. So should you plan a game design around a festival? No, because I think that Steam will eventually have a festival that would feature your game. However, if what you're concerned about from the beginning is marketing, you probably want to see what is the addressable market of your game. So like, let's say you're making a puzzle game with a command line interface. It's like, that's probably not going to have a very big market because it's just so unusual. But let's say you're making a roguelike card game. It's like, well, there are a lot of people who like those kinds of games. So you probably have a bigger market. And as a result, Steam probably has a festival you could fit into for that without you having to do too much finagling. This is a list of official festivals, 90% overlap every year. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I was in the original Idler Fest, but one of the problems with that particular festival for me was that I only had a demo and Steam wants to push sales. So there are categories like top selling games or I don't know, like highest or like deepest discount or something. I'm making things up. But the point is you can't be in these if you don't have a monetized game yet. So it's like there is also a top demos category, but yeah, the games that sell are probably going to get more demo downloads and then make it to the top of those lists. So I did get some eyes on the game, but it wasn't a ton. And lately, I haven't been doing marketing because I just wanted to focus on development. I should probably get back to that at some point. Anyway, yeah, I think we need to explain overflow. I think we need a tooltip on the extractor. It would say something like add potions to this. Add potions to this to plant seeds on your farm and put fish eggs in your pond. And we just say something like, note, overflow occurs when your pond or farm or pond is full and a new potion is added. I don't know if that's going to be clear enough, but yeah, I think we do something like that. Add a tooltip to the extractor. And then the spell itself, change spell description and like make the spell actually work and address the to-do items I put in the code. So change spell description to say something like, every second that this is active, apply a faux potion to the extractor that Maybe just something like that. And then we say something under here like, note, these potions will always contribute to the extractor's overflow value. Hey, Karada, thank you. I like the idea. I like this stuff. Yeah. And then I think we need to add a potency perk. And what would this do? Maybe. Show a small potion being put into the extractor from above every second. And have special logic for... Let's make sure saving and loading doesn't do anything weird here. Has special logic for when that potion goes in. It needs to modify seeds differently from fish. So this is the actual tooltip. And then make sure the part about eggs only shows if you have the pond. Or, yeah, that's probably fine. Also, does entropic magic just like work with this? I wonder. Entropic magic. Get extra spell chance. It probably should. Cast random inactive spell. Just go through all inactive spells and cast it. Yeah, okay. Pretty reasonable. And then add a potency perk. So this would probably like plus 30% value or plus 50% value. I still think this is a little bit weird. Your farm is pretty much always going to be full, which is, yeah, not great. It's going to be your fishing pond that you want to fill up more with this. So what should the baseline of this be? Makes your crop grow faster while this is active. It's kind of interesting. Probably grow much faster. Okay, so if you have a full, if you have all 25 plots, I think casting the spell at a baseline should give you, I don't know, 15 seeds. And for fish, the baseline should be 2 fish, maybe. So what would that work out to be? 15 seeds. You probably have 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 4 as your average value per seed. So that times 15 plus 2 fish would be 20. So you get like 73 sludge. Yeah, sure. That's probably fine. I don't know. How much gold does that work out to be now? It'd be 130? 130G by clicking a button. And we're always guaranteeing that it overflows. But the more you get the extraction perk, the more it would lower the cost that the fish would give you. So it ended up being 40 plus 30, so 70G, I think. Still seems like a lot. Hey, cool. How's it going? Yeah, last time you were here was about 5 months ago. 4 months ago, actually. It's nice to see people pop in again. I don't know if we should be thinking about this in terms of gold. Like, if you use a loot magnet, you're probably getting more than 70 gold. So, sure, let's let this just work, right? Now, one of the problems is you could idle here and eventually get overflow farm value that's crazy. I guess you don't even need to have items anymore. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. Let's just see what this does for the game. Yeah, I think this is pretty reasonable. All right. So we've got our work cut out for us. I think this is probably more than an hour of work. So we'll probably have to bleed into the afternoon for this. And then I want to add more perks too after that. Yeah. I'm going to take a quick break for now, though. Is it jump time? It's jump time. That was quite the battle. Very close at the end. GG. And close the game. Okay, let's get started on this. So, how do we make a tooltip spawn on something in the game? We've got this for a signpost, for example. And it's got a clickable area, and we have mouse entered, and this spawns a tooltip. Yep, neat. Okay, I mean, this stuff should be pretty easy. So there's the extractor. I think this has a clickable area already. It does. We don't have any mouse entered stuff though. No. And this is not protected. It's just private. I mean, I could have mouse entered and mouse exited be overrideable. We have a weapon grinder. We'd probably eventually want to show you this too, right? Yeah, why not? I guess you hover over it. It says weapon grinder. It says add weapons to this to do blah, overflow blah. Yeah, okay. Well, then that's pretty reasonable. And we even have a tooltip thing here. Yeah, everything looks pretty decent. So mouse entered and mouse exited. We put these here. Then we go code those functions. Mouse entered. Cool. Then tooltip text. This needs to be obtained from each individual thing that we have. So I'll make a public virtual string tooltip text. And just say something like override this. Or text not specified or something. I don't know. Maybe just abstract? Is this already abstract? It's partial. It's abstract, but it is contained in non-abstract type. Can't you make this abstract now? I don't remember. I think you can't. I think it's because Godot doesn't let you. Property should not follow method. I don't care about that right now. And then this should just be tooltip text. All right, I'll try this, but like I said, I don't think this does anything. Also, technically, this should just be protected. Yeah, I don't think this is doable. All right, so now how do we do this? Put this not there. Here. Override this high. And let's do the same thing over here. Just there, done. Okay, I think this is going to fail because I'm nearly positive you can't do this in Godot. And that's okay. We'll just make it virtual. But it's worth testing to see if I am totally wrong. I don't know how that works. I thought that was impossible. Yes, should not be abstract. It is failing. Okay, that's fine. Just make it virtual. And then we're supposed to put this somewhere else. I guess at this point we could just say no tooltip defined. You should never see this text, and it shouldn't be here anyway. It should be here. All right, nice. So this should all look pretty much the same way. Property should not follow a method. I do not like this. And then same thing here. Okay, so we wanted a large tooltip for this. Extractor, blah, blah, blah. Now let's put this in here. I guess we're going to make it. How do we do this? Get like that. It isn't blurry. Oh, yeah, that's true. It hasn't gotten blurry today. Yeah, I think I fixed it. And hey, Matt on YouTube. Yeah, so I just reseated the lens and it seemed to work. But I'm glad because that took me barely any time. And if that happens once every 2 years, I am more than happy to fix it. In fact, I should write this down for tomorrow to do. Write down that reseating the lens seems to have worked. If you ever see the lens not retracting when you turn the camera off, it's a good sign that you should reseat it. Yeah. All right, so this is the text that we want here. A lot of this is dynamic. I'll just return something for now because I don't want to spend the time doing this just yet. So this isn't even correct, by the way. Like we need to populate this. And then I guess the same thing with the weapon grinder. We're going to say weapon grinder, add weapons to this to grind them into keys, overflow keys, 0.1. when your key storage is full and a new weapon's added, something like that. Much better watching situation, even with the rewind thing. I generally do like YouTube's video player a little bit better. Also, man, Twitch has had this bug for, I assume it's a bug, for the longest time where if you watch a VOD on mobile, you can't hide chat. So it's like sometimes I just want to see the screen. And if you're watching a live video on mobile, you can hide the chat. And there are buttons to do it on the VOD, but they don't work. At least not on Android. You're feeling less smooth at it today. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, we're making a new spell right now. I don't know if you heard when I was talking about it originally, but it is called Faux Potions. I think you heard about what this is, but it's going to just put potions into the extractor for you, basically. So we're going to finally expose what some people have been questioning for a while, which is like when you hover over the extractor, how many potions do you have in there? Like how many seeds are you going to get? How many fish are you going to get? So that's what we're coding right now. And yeah, we're just doing this step by step. Property should not follow method. It's never gonna let up, is it? X amount of time? Yeah, for X amount of time. You can double tap on the screen in mobile to hide the chat. In a VOD? Because I was gonna say specifically in a VOD. I know you can double tap to do it on a live video. On a VOD, wow. Hang on a second. I want to try this. Are you on an iPhone? Because I wonder if it's working on iOS but not on Android. Like if I go to Skeleseller, I find someone's VOD. No, yeah, it definitely does not work for me. So here is a VOD, and see this part on the side? It's just totally black right now. Like no amount of, if I double tap or something, it's not doing anything. There are buttons to hide it, but they don't do anything there either. I can try to maximize it, and now it's probably really hard to tell. Now the VOD is going behind this bar, but you can't hide the chat. There's no way to turn off chat replay on Android. Yes, Pixel. What? It's not doing it for me. Yeah, there's nowhere I can tap or get this to go away. Huh. Huh. Yeah, weird. Works on Samsung for you? How is it not working for me? This has been happening for weeks, and I have my app set to auto update, so it shouldn't be a problem with that. Let me take a look and see if the Twitch app has an update. Oh, Google Play isn't even loading now. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't even load Google Play for some reason. That's weird. That's very weird. Do you use any coding AI models? I use Copilot. Maybe your app needs an update. Yeah, I'll try that out. I'll write that down for tomorrow too. Try updating the Twitch app on my phone and seeing if I can hide chat for VODs. All right. So we should have this tooltip in the game. Let's go take a look. Yeah. And we've got to format this correctly. There's a lot of little work we need to do. This is just bricklaying at this point. Format the tooltip nicely. How do we do this with anything else though? So when we hover over this, what happens? Yeah, we have shopping spree. This is just for a spell book though. I want to copy whatever I do for this. There must be a font size or something, right? There isn't? What? Because the enchanter done does it? Font size? I'm confused. Something sets up a tooltip for these. What does this? Update spellbook tooltip. Why do I not see a font size? Format title, I see. Okay, that's fine. All right, we're gonna get this working. And maybe we should just plug this into the parent text and have it handle the formatting so that we don't need to do something special. Can we even do that? There's probably a way to do that. Let me try something here. I'm like drastically complicating this. Can we do base dot tooltip text plus that? So now it's going to say no tooltip defined and then extractor. Because if so, then yeah, I think this will be fine. Or you can make like a format tooltip and pass in all the different components of it. Yeah, nice. Okay, so I still don't know what function I want to write for this yet. But what are the similarities? We have the machine name. So I guess let's put that there. Return bb code functions dot format title. This is going to be what, machine name? Isn't there a name here? Name? That can't be right. Do I no longer pass this in? I don't. I pass in tooltips. Yeah. And there's a machine name here, but that's just part of the tooltip, I'm guessing. Yep. Get turn off tooltip. Click to turn off, which will make workers ignore the machine name. Yeah, well then, this probably isn't worthwhile to do. We should probably just have them form their own things. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. It'll just take time. Tooltip text. So no tooltip defined. Let's stick to that. Do we have BB code functions here? We don't, and it's not complaining. Oh, I never added the line. Okay. All right, so BB code functions dot format title machine name. Get machine name? Messages that get machine name? Ah, good. Perfect. So there's that. We'll make an $. And then that. All right, so some new lines. Add potions and whatever. Hey, Appleseed. Benzo's scatterbrain at work. Feels like I'm constantly context switching and never getting anything done. Always I gotta check this. Are there any new bugs reported here? Oh, there's a new message. This looks wrong. Any tips how to counter this? Yeah, I think one way is to have dedicated times for doing certain activities. So for example, like new messages, new bugs, maybe you do some Pomodoro thing, like once an hour, check for messages maybe, and twice per day, check for bugs. And it's like, if you miss it, you miss it. I think that's a good thing is this. And then another good thing to do is write notes about what you're doing. I always have a stream of consciousness note. And sometimes I'll write in it something like starting to fix bug X. And you see me do this pretty much on a daily basis, right? Like I've got my to-do list right here. If I'm responding to your chat message and I take an hour, when I'm done with it, I'm going to just look at my to-do list and be like, oh yeah, I was adding a tooltip to the extractor. This helps anchor me to whatever task I was on. And it is very valuable. So I think these two techniques on their own should probably help put a dent in what you're experiencing. And this is pretty easy to implement, but I think the difficulty here is like reducing your anxiety about not checking these things. And I don't want to ramble about this for a long time, so I'll say just try it out and see that nothing bad is happening. Because the odds of something bad happening are pretty slim. And you're addressing a different problem anyway by doing this. So see what happens. Hey, Codex. Draws out any odd noise? Yeah, sometimes I will just have headphones on and nothing playing. And that way I'm just in focus mode. It's like I've chosen to block out the world. So I've signaled to the rest of my brain or body or whatever that I'm not going to be paying attention to it. Good luck, Meridio. Have a good day. I feel like I can't pull off the same multitasking that it requires. Today, it feels like it'd be even more detrimental in stealing focus. Appreciate the tips. Well, the first one I think should still help, but the notes about what you're doing, they don't need to be advanced. It could be something like working on feature X, and you don't write things like got done with part A, got done with part B, struggling with, problem X of part C. you don't need to write this granularity necessarily unless you find that it helps you. But hey, it's a strategy. It's potentially worth trying out. If it doesn't work for you, I at least think that dedicating some time for this could be a good start. All right, so these things need to be added here somehow. Private const string. So what do we say, like tooltip description? Add potions to this. Or maybe like drag potions to this? No, add potions to this to plant seeds on your farm. Fish eggs text. Yeah. I don't know how best to form that. Yeah, and then private const string. Or maybe we should just have two different ones. Tooltip description, only farm. Tooltip description, pond and farm. So add potions to this to add seeds on your farm. And this one would say add potions to this to plant seeds on your farm and put fish eggs in your pond. And extract fish eggs to your pond, in your pond, to your pond. To your pond. Yeah, I think it's better. Then overflow seeds amount and overflow eggs. Yeah, fish eggs amount. And then a note at the bottom of this. Private const string overflow note. Note, overflow only occurs. This needs to be done in a particular color. Color equals, what is this? Note color. That makes sense. Yeah, I hope it helps, Appleseed. I would appreciate it, and you certainly don't have to do this, but if you could tell me afterward what parts of that helped or if you've worked on this problem at all, only so that I can adjust my advice for other people who eventually ask about this stuff. But yeah, you don't have to do that. Okay, so we got to copy all of these things. That, and that. And now form our tooltip from these things. And I guess they're all Git, and they all look like that. And some of these have amounts. So this is going to be the description. Git tooltip. Oh, but it's based on if you have the farm or not. And the extractor has access to the town? Yes, it does. Okay, so string description equals town dot fishing pond is null. If it's null, we're going to get the description for only the farm, otherwise both. And then we're going to put the description in here. So that is now done. Then we need the overflow values. Overflow values equals, I'm going to say get overflow seeds amount 5. This should be messages. What am I doing? And then if town.fishingpond is not null, add a new line, add the eggs. Good. Then put in our overflow values. Then we put in the note at the end of this. Messages.get overflow note. Note color UI constants.note. What? Where's note? Oh, help text. And then delete some random curly braces until we figure out where this thing is wrong. Yeah, there, perfect. So now why is this a problem? Does not exist in this context. Why not? It's right there. Is it not exposed as the town? It is. It's just capitalized. Okay. And really all we care about is like has fishing pond equals town.fishing pond is not null. So I guess we need to invert this now. Has fishing pond like that. And then if has fishing pond like that, we need a semicolon here and a new line there. Perfect. Yeah, thanks. That'll be good. Okay, let's take a look at this, except for, no, wait, this is still broken. We need to format these as, oh, how do we do that? Oh, we pass in the amount as, oh man. Okay, so BB code functions format number. I should really just make a thing that takes in a number. Because right now I have to say 5.2 string, which is kind of funny. I've actually never seen this ever written like this. A decimal number and then .2 string. This is the only time I've ever seen. Yeah, only time I've ever seen that, I think. Is that valid? It should be valid. And eventually it's going to be a variable. So we're not going to even have 2 periods like that. All right, so we hit continue. It should look like a pretty good tooltip now. Yeah, so it says extractor, add potions to this to plant seeds on your farm. Overflow seeds 5. Note overflow occurs when your farm or pond is full and a new potion is added. All right, so again, this is fake data, but if we click this and build the pond, now it says add potions to this to plant seeds on your farm and extract fish eggs to your pond. Overflow seeds 5, overflow fish eggs 0.24. Now it is kind of weird to show a fraction of a fish there. But it's because fish cost so much. Whereas with seeds, I don't think we have to show you a fraction. So now we don't want them to be variables. So we got to figure out what your actual overflow value is. It's this, I guess. Is that right? Yeah, I think it's this. I think let's just make a private int. No, it doesn't need to be private int. No, yeah, sure, fine. Overflow seeds. Is going to be this. Good. Then we just need to move this up here somewhere. Right there. Okay, and then overflow fish eggs. We should be able to find those too. Here it is. Overflow eggs. And where did I put the one? There it is. And that's going to be that. Now we replace our hard-coded values of 0.24 with overflow eggs. And we replace this with overflow seeds. Yeah. Man, I gotta say, there's a task, or not a task, like, I guess kind of a task. A scenario I'd find myself in where, let's say you had, I don't know, just some language, you've got a function that takes in, I'll just call it foo, it takes in like string A and int B, and it does something. And you call it, and you got like hi, and you got 5. Okay, so you got this, and you find yourself, for whatever reason, you're like, okay, I'm gonna move this string to be the second argument. And now you find yourself needing to swap these two things. This is where AI is fantastic, because I just press tab and it's done now. But the mechanics in any editor of swapping these two things is probably like minimally 4 key presses. And it's also you like selecting correctly and doing this, and then, oh, the comma needs to go there. And it's like, you're probably not doing it in just 4 key presses. It's probably taking you more than that. And that just happened here too, where like I copy pasted something and now I needed to change something in it. This said overflow eggs. But it's like, I need to change this. For me to change it without AI doing this, I would have needed to select this and just type seeds or S and then, you know, control space or something. Either way, it's, again, minimally like 3 key presses. Whereas now it's just hit tab, click the thing, you're done. Very, very cool. Because a long time ago, there was a transpose word feature in whatever editor I was using, and it was nice when it worked. It would like transpose across punctuation boundaries. And now it's like, who even needs that? The AI just figures out what you need and then does it. And it doesn't have to be super smart. It's like, it can tell seeds matches seeds, eggs matches eggs. Man, something weird is happening on YouTube chat right now where it's like moving everything. Look at this. The chat thing went away. What happened here? There's no input anymore. Did the stream go offline on YouTube? No, it's still online. Stream go offline on... Huh, that's me talking. Oh, it just fixed itself. Okay. All right, so when you hover over this, overflow seed says 0. So how do we get this to actually work? If I click this, now it says 3. Interesting. So now let's have those grow to the maximum, and it's going to plant 3 new seeds. Now it should say 2, and now it should say 1, and now it should say 0, and this should update while you're hovering over it. Very, very cool. I love it. I think it's great. So now what we need is the same thing that signposts presumably do, although they might not need to do this. Yeah, there's no process for that, but the Enchanter Den has one. We're going to go add this in to item machine. There is no process for here either. And apparently I didn't just add one. Cool. So is mouse over, what is this? Clickable area dot is mouse over? I don't even think that exists. It does? It doesn't seem right. It definitely doesn't seem right. Maybe I track that. Oh, I do. Wow. It's protected though. Why would I not just make this public? Yeah, why wouldn't this be public? Like, why is this tracking this when we have a hover area and presumably the hover area is, it's just an area 2D. Oh boy. All right. Well, there's another thing we can do here. We can check to see if this is the source of the tooltip, which is, I think, the more proper way of doing this. Town.tooltip.something. I don't know what is source. If source equals this, then update tooltip. But update tooltip isn't a function. It's just mouse entered. I guess we'll say update tooltip. I mean, this is the technically correct way of doing this. And then this will just call update tooltip. And then we do the same thing from process. We set the source correctly. Yeah, looks good. So now it'll update in real time as you're hovering over it. And that way you can see how this stuff works. Most people realize that, oh, hey, the more expensive potions give you more stuff here. But now it's going to be very obvious. So you hover over this, it says you have 0 seeds. I put this in here. Now it says you have 3 overflow seeds. Now as we harvest these, it goes down to 2 or to 1. Nice. Now it's at 0, so it should not plant another one. Usually hover above your mic is touching it, and I want to say it's caused a bit of odd peaking. Could just be me. Okay, let me try that. Sorry about that. We never hide this now? Oh, this is still marked abstract. It shouldn't be. If the source is this, hide from source. Doesn't this change the source? Hide? It doesn't. Oh, wow. So we need to check if it's showing too. Source equals. Is showing. Tooltip on parent. No, this isn't right. This isn't right at all. Yeah, this is not how we would do this. I want a function here. Like is showing from source. Yeah. Public. Oops. Yeah, I'll do this here. Is showing from. Oh no, you can't do it like that. All right, never mind. Object source. There we go. All right, so now we can put that into this town.towntooltip.is showing from source. This done. Update. This should work now. Yeah, nice. Cool. Let's add some items. Very cool. Very, very cool. I like this a lot. Hey, Rami, long time no see. How's it going? Oh, man, this is so nice. It's really, really good. So now we need to do the same thing for the weapon grinder, which basically just means copy pasting a whole bunch of these things over there. And then simplifying it a little bit, I guess. So tooltip description, add weapons to this to grind them into keys for your treasure room. And we don't need this. And then we say overflow keys amount, delete that. Overflow note. Overflow occurs when your key storage is full and a new weapon is added. There, that's it. Got struck down by a flu. I'm sorry to hear that. My mind was racing because I was watching Wendy's stream yesterday and he had mentioned wanting to lose some weight. And I just said, hey, how's the weight loss going? And he said it's been going well. He's been losing weight pretty consistently. And he said he was told pretty much his whole life, hey, if you just stop eating junk, you'll feel a lot better. And he finally just stopped eating junk. And not only did he start feeling better, but he also started losing weight. And he said something that stood out that made me remember, that you just reminded me of, which is he's also getting sick less. And then I started to think, wait, didn't Rami say he was sick even before getting the flu? And I can't recall, but now I wonder, how bad is your diet? This is just Dr. Adam trying to diagnose you. Asterisk, Dr. Adam does not have a PhD. Got called out? No, I am actually just curious. I'm not trying to say something is definitely wrong. And I don't even know if I'm remembering correctly that Rami had gotten sick before getting the flu. But yeah, I hope you're feeling better. I'm not calling him fat either. I've seen a picture of Rami. Your diet being bad does not mean that you're overweight. You could eat probably like straight up peanut butter every day for 5 days, and you don't have to be gaining weight for that to probably be a terrible idea. All right, so now we got to go plug these things in. Goes into weapon grinders, tooltip text. All right, so description, we don't need a special one. Overflow values, we don't need a special thing of this either. We can just kind of plug all this in. We don't need this either. Yeah, pretty much none of this is going to be that hard. So description is going to be messages.getDescription. Overflow value is going to be get overflow keys. Amount is this. Format keys.toString, which we don't have yet. And then the note. And then how do we, I should probably just write this up here. Overflow keys equals this. Good. It's essential though. The peanut food pyramid. You got your whole peanuts. You got your peanuts with the shells. You got peanut butter. What other things can you make with peanuts? I don't know, crunchy peanut butter. Have been sick for over half a year. Okay, yeah, then I am probably misremembering. Diet's quite healthy. Rarely eat junk food or takeaway. Don't have a fryer, air fryer. Most of my dinners include a healthy dose of veggies. Sounds good. Sounds good. By the way, an air fryer, I didn't know this. I thought an air fryer required you to put oil in. It's really just a convection oven. So an air fryer on its own is not actually unhealthy in any way. It's just heating up food using air. Sounds like I'm saying a joke. I'm not. That's literally what it is. Usually use the air fry fries though. Is it? I mean, most people just use it for reheating leftovers or something, right? Air oven is cool. You know, I was thinking about the word speed running, and I wonder if people wanted to call it speed racing, but they couldn't because of the TV show Speed Racer, which I don't even know if it's still going on. This guy. But do you think speed running would have been called this if this didn't exist? I think they would have called it speed racing? Because I think that's a cooler sounding name. All right, so there's only one accumulated value. Accumulated value. And then we don't need this. We just need base item. Oh, wait a second, though. This has got to... Well, maybe it'll work. And then put this here. Speed racist. Not what I was thinking. Don't tell Raimi about F1 and what they call their drivers. Because it's not racist. It's racers. All right, this is working except for that you can't swap easily between these two things. That's okay. Let's get the... Wait, it's not even showing. Show all signs. Click this. Weapon grinder. Add weapons to this to grind them into keys for your treasure room. Overflow keys 0. Overflow occurs when your key storage is full and a new weapon is added. Okay, let's go test it. So we click this. We have no overflow keys. We need another one of those cool swords. Did we get one? Nope. All right, well, we're just gonna keep doing this until we get another one of the swords I want. Oh, by the way, I made a change yesterday where when you drag an item and you let go of it, it'll now nudge it 4 pixels farther than where you dropped it, so that if there is overlap, hopefully it helps you get the item that you want. And it does it in the direction that you dragged it from, which is pretty cool. I don't know if it's gonna help people. Oh, come on, give me the sword without the little fiery graphic. I just want a red sword here. Really? Is that it? No, that's a fire sword. Give me the sword. There. Good. Okay. I want that. Nice. So now it says overflow keys 2. So now we need to sell stuff. Go sell things. Just clear up some space so that I can put a key over here, which will give us 1 more key. And then I put another key over here, and now we're at 0. Nice. All right. Oh, this should probably be a floating point number. Hey, Kalisaki. Maybe. Yeah, I'm doing well. Welcome in. I think this is probably fine. Well, no, it's probably not fine because people are going to they're going to get the fishing pond and they're going to put a potion in here that's worth almost nothing. And they're going to be like, what did that just do for me? And I think this is going to be confusing for them. So I think we should show them a fractional amount for this, which means we can't have this be an integer amount, but we could make it be a float and then have, when it gets used over here, turn it into an int. And then same thing with this stuff. Have this stuff be floats. Hello, there we go. Then delete that, delete that. Get rid of the parentheses. Int should always truncate this. Yeah. Where's the other one? Overflow eggs. Where is that? There it is. Int. Cool. And then we just need to say how many decimal points this can have. I think 2. How do you do this? 0 point number. Is that even right? Yeah, here it is. 0 dot number will render as, yeah, perfect. Okay. That is what I want. All right, I gotta do this for keys as well. So the weapon grinder, when we get the overflow keys, we do toString 0 dot number. All right, now let's try it. How's it been going? So I took a couple days off. I haven't taken a couple days off in half a year, and I have a very good work ethic, Ramy. So if you could stop insinuating why I got the flu. Yeah, I might have taken a couple days off. I've been doing pretty well. We renamed challenge mode to bone mode. We had a lot of jokes about that. And then we've been working on some of the player feedback. I think I summed it all up very briefly in here. And I'll show this on screen. You don't need to open this if you don't want to. But we were going to rebrand this. It's not really a challenge, so why call it challenge mode? We were going to change some other things. It doesn't really matter. But we've done all those. So now we are working on some content. And the thing I'm doing right now is making this new spell work. We have something called faux potions. And it doesn't do anything yet, but it will. So we're making it so that you can tell how many seeds or fish eggs you have just by looking at this. So if I put in a, well, I guess they're going to do it for me. So let's just hover over this. We should see fractional fish eggs show up, and we're not. And that is scaring me. Why is that happening? Huh. Put a breakpoint there. Overflow egg should be it's 0. What? Oh, maybe I'm comparing integers. Am I? Accumulated values is a long. Base value is a long. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, then let's just turn one of these into a float. Well, I guess it only matters for the... That doesn't really matter either way, does it? I guess we might as well just do that. And for the weapon grinder, same thing. Overflow keys. We turn this into a float. Are you against a sign with an icon and text to show it rather than on hover? I don't think I'm opposed to it, but signs have a different meaning in the game right now. And I think it's natural to want to hover over this to see what it's doing. I didn't get any of that. Can you please summarize? What if I just made myself more attractive and then took longer saying it? How attractive would I have to be? At what point are you like, I'll listen to that person say anything? All right, give me the potions. Oop. No, C's are showing. Ah, man. I want to show this like that, I think. You're here for smooth Adam Gate. Hey, ESK, I am using Obsidian still. I just also use Google Docs. I think I have a Y Google Docs command. Yeah, my camera was glitching out and I just turned into a blur. I was embodying Sonic the Hedgehog for that time. Perfect. Wait, no, not perfect. It's not rounding down. Oh, I don't understand how this works. I guess 0 means to round. Can you not truncate? I guess you could just make it an integer. Except for now, that's going to be a problem, right? We could just run math.floor. Hey, Siyash, I'm doing well. Happy Wednesday. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be asking this, but are hot tub streams still a thing? Like, are people still doing that? Because I never watched a like just sleeping stream or whatever, but every once in a while I would see it in the browse category, and it's not actually people sleeping anymore. I'm not sure what it's used for. Very much yes. Okay, because I didn't know if this was like a fad that passed. Let me see. Is this a thing still? I'm only sleeping is what the category is called. Yeah, like look at this. The top 2 streams, at least. If this person's sleeping, then this is just a pre-recorded video, I guess. And again, if this person's sleeping, it's just a pre-recorded video. Like they're obviously not sleeping here. So why are they in this category? Oh wait. This is not what that category is for, apparently. It says a point and click adventure game. Oh. Although they're not playing that game anyway. They're all doing different stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand this category at all. Small, uncomfortable shower tubs count. I guess so. Browse just chatting. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. But yeah, the just sleeping thing, I guess I don't understand. Do you want to hear about the latest meta? Sure, I guess. Is it food related? Wearing green undergarments and using that as a green screen. No, people were doing that a while ago, apparently. Because I heard about that and I thought that was hilarious. Just people are creative. I guess in this case, it's creative for maybe a, I don't know, somewhat controversial reason, but it's still funny to me. Okay, so yeah, I think this is working. I didn't try it with keys though. I gotta go do that. All right, so we put in a cane and it says we got 0.36 of a key. Maybe we shouldn't call this overflow. No, yeah, we shouldn't call it overflow because it's not overflow. It's like accumulated value. Oh, God. All right, well, we got the tooltips working. That's nice. And that's working too. Format the tooltip nicely. So the problem is our use of the word overflow. We say that it only happens when you add items and the machine is full. But it really reflects how, like, what fraction of an item extra you have. Excuse me. Green jorts. You just spray paint some regular jorts. So what should we call this? The thing I'm calling it in code is accumulated value, but I think that's a little too technical for this. Maybe we should call it key dust. Except for that only makes sense in the form of keys. It doesn't really make sense in the form of seeds. Key parts. Like seeds inside, eggs inside, something like that. You don't really have a fraction of an egg either, do you? Oh, that's not really how fish eggs work. Fish don't just lay like one egg. They lay like a bunch of them. But we can't do that for this game. Collected material. Are we allowed to dump potions into the farm that's fully stocked if you don't have a fishing pond now? No. No, what's going to happen is this faux potions spell is going to act like you can. So it'll add potions regardless of how many seeds you already have. And those faux potions will always help you. So imagine that the farm is full and you cast the spell. You'll get, let's say, I'm just making up a number, 15 overflow seeds. So now let's say the farm is still full. You cast it again. It'll go up to 30. So now you harvest the full farm. It plants 25 of those 30 overflow seeds. And now you have 5 overflow left. And then you harvest the full farm again. It plants the remaining 5 overflow seeds. You have 0 overflow. So hopefully that makes sense. Like the faux potions thing is going to allow you to just keep dumping in these fake potions. So if you just want to cast a spell over and over, you probably don't even need to put potions into your extractor anymore. But you won't get double the items. You won't get workers moving faster. You won't get customers moving faster. And sometimes entropic magic is just going to cast this for you. So yeah, there's a lot of kind of interesting things I think this could do. And if you don't care, like if you're getting too many potions anyway, casting this spell wouldn't help you. Not very much, at least. Really leveled up in importance for me. Yeah, and by having a 4th spell, I think is going to help too. Also, by having a 4th spell, it'll always give you something else to use your mana on. So if you did have full mana and you already had 2 spells cast, or even 3, well, now you have a 4th one you can cast. And we should maybe make it so that like casting any spell can do something for you. That'd be probably a cool perk. Maybe there should be a perk, a small perk, when you cast any spell. It's cooler now that there are 4 spells. I guess that's sort of what entropic magic is, though. Might call it a key silo or a stash. So the key storage is this. This is what will actually hold your keys. This is the weapon grinder, which can have a fraction of a key inside. Intensity increases how many spells you're casting. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen though. It's just something that shows on the rainbow crystal now. And now we have 4 spells. Very neat. Yeah, so I don't know what to say for this. Overflow. Overflow occurs when your key storage is full and a new key is added. Best name key fractions. I think key fractions, key parts, key dust. Yeah, I like key parts. Key parts accumulate as you add weapons. I don't know, something like that. And then what do we say here? So overflow seeds. I guess because this is an integer, it always is actually overflow. But for fish eggs, it's not true. There can be a fraction of a fish egg. I don't even know what we say for that. Because it doesn't make sense to have a part of a fish egg. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say for this. Maybe we positioned this in a kind of a poor way. Stored seeds, extra seeds. Yeah, extra seeds is actually pretty good. But fish eggs, I don't know what to write for this. Stored fish eggs. It's also going to complicate the spell that I had. Every second it's active, add a faux potion. These potions will always contribute to the extractor's overflow value. These potions can go beyond the usual, have no limit to, I don't know, to how many of these potions can be stored. What do I say for this? How do I make this make sense? For this, I think just calling it key parts is okay. We don't really have a problem with that. I just have a problem with this one. Seeds can't have fractional values. And fish eggs, we need to render the fractional value, but it doesn't make sense. I guess that's part of the problem. Is it like the lore behind this makes no sense? How do you get part of a fish egg? Like, we would have to reposition it to be a chance to get a full egg or something like that. Hey, Nelixis. Today's going pretty well. Yeah, I did fix the camera. I reseated the lens. Doc Orange got 88 pulls. Nice. Is there a point where you have to start paying for it? I don't know how that works. So is there some way we could make it make sense to get a fraction of an egg? Is it a fraction of an egg or is it an extra single egg? So I'm kind of trying to address two things here. One is that people are usually confused by like, how does this thing work? If you put a potion, oh my God, okay, well, they took them all. If you put a potion in here, you don't actually see a fish get added. Well, now it's telling you like, oh, you're only getting a fraction of a fish every time. So maybe the way we do this is it's like, you need enough potion to extract a fish egg. So it's not fractions of an egg. It's like progress toward an egg. That's maybe a little bit better. It's a min-max detail. It's not just a min-max thing. It's that what a lot of people do is they read this and they say potions that you put in the extractor will now also extract fish eggs. Well, the thing is, there is no potion you can put into the farm that will not give you a crop. So even if you put in the smallest potion, you will see a seed. But if you put the smallest potion into the pond, you don't see a fish get created. And people are always like, did that not work? Is there a bug here? So I think if you hovered over this and you're like, oh, I see. Progress toward an egg is only 30%. But it can't exactly be called progress because this can also go beyond 100%. And that's what faux potions is going to do. And that's one of the only ways you'll know that this actually did anything. So progress toward an egg, but the progress can go beyond 100% with faux potions. Maybe it's like fish eggs ready to be extracted. I don't know. Have another line for next egg progress. So it would tell you how many are stored and how many, like, overflow eggs. 5. Progress toward next egg. 30%. Yeah, that could potentially work. And with seeds, we don't have fractional values. So we could just say like overflow. Oh my God, I can't type. Overflow seeds. 4. Technically, there is progress toward the next seed. It's either 50% or it's nothing. Yeah. So that's not very interesting, I think. Also added animation. There already is an animation when they spawn. I think that's a little too subtle for people to notice. And the other thing too is if they have the battle open, then it immediately spawns into the battle and they're typically not paying attention. Because what's really happening is when they drag a potion here and they're looking at the farm, they see, oh, I got a seed. But when they don't see a fish egg, they think it's a bug. And then one of their workers ends up dragging it in and makes it a fish so that they don't notice that. And then they drag another one in and it still doesn't do anything. So I think this will help. I like Codex's idea, I think, of splitting this out. Overflow eggs and progress toward next egg. Yeah. I think that can work. Egg progress. So we say extra fish eggs. Maybe we just call them extra. Overflow is maybe a little bit too much. And progress toward next egg. And say no overflow occurs when your farm or pond is full and a new potion is added. Cool. Well, extra occurs. I guess we do call it overflow. Okay, fine. Okay, so now we got to go change this. Why is this not showing? Did I rename this too? No, there it is. All right, so overflow values. What's showing up in the game right now? Overflow fish eggs and progress toward next egg. Overflow values plus equal. I guess we just do it in here too. Plus /n. Why am I even doing this? Make a $sign and do it this way. And then messages.get egg progress. Oh boy. All right, amount 5. I don't know. I just want these things to go away. I have thoroughly messed up parentheses here. There. All right, so what is this number? Egg progress. It's going to be, I guess we format it as a number. It's going to be based on overflow eggs. It's always going to be the value beyond. Hang on, let me try something. C# playground. What happens when you have a floating point number, float 1.5, and you say x.toString, toString 0. That? Is that gonna run? Literal of type double cannot be implicitly converted to float using f. 0.5, yeah. And if I type like 113, yeah, perfect, okay. Yeah, the $sign is for string interpolation. So this will print whatever x.toString is, and this will literally print the string curly brace, x curly brace. All right, so yeah, overflow eggs %1.toString like that. And then this is the integer value. So this is going to be the math.floor of this, which is technically the same as just saying an int, and then toString 0. And now this looks like trash. So let's get overflow eggs is that. And then the egg progress is that. Yeah, that looks a lot neater. So that probably looks good, but now we need to do the same thing for keys. Why did this get broken? So we have overflow keys and then key progress, right? Yeah. Progress toward next key. Overflow keys. Overflow keys accumulate as you add weapons. That's not what it should say. It should say whatever it said a long time ago. Yeah, this. But maybe not occurs. Overflow keys accumulate when your key storage is full and a new weapon is added. Okay, good. Good, good, good. And now we just need this thing. So string overflow keys is going to be exactly what we did over here. All right, so get overflow mat dot, yep, good. And then key progress also looks good. And then the key text here is going to be, well, I guess we always have both of them, so I could just do it like this. There. Whew. Thanks for explaining. Haven't used C# a long time ago. I forgot about that. Yeah, totally fine. Hey, 3 Extended. Long time no chat. Yeah, what's been up? How has life been? I'm sure you've been busy. I've been pretty well. We've been working very hard on something called, well, it used to be called challenge mode. Now it's called bone mode. But yeah, I think you were last here about 6 months ago. I think we've spent about 2 months on this bone mode thing. It's basically, in short, it's a mode for replayability in the game. And then what do we do for the like 4 months before that? I guess it was a lot of polish and content. So anyway, what we're working on right now is I just added in another spell of the game, and we got to get this spell to work. And in order to do that, I need to change the tooltip on this thing. And oh, whoops, progress should probably be a percentage. P0. And then same thing over here, right? P0. There we go. There is no reason to have 2 strings 0 on that, is there? Oh, I guess it's a floating point number. I guess just saying int would have been better. It'll be shorter for sure. Hey, Olgo Dev. Howdy, howdy, howdy. You know, Olgo Dev, you come in like right around lunchtime to the point where I look up and look at the time and I'm like, yeah, I am getting kind of hungry. Pavlov's Olgo Dev. All right, progress toward next egg, 36%. So is there any potion we could add in? I guess there's the ogre blood potion, which we're not going to find. Oh, wait, was that one? I guess it's not going to matter now. Oh, they can't accept it. And I can't see the ogre blood there. Although, oh, there it is. But yeah, I can't grab it. Oh, there's one. All right, so if we just fish up one of these fish. Yeah, let's get one. Hopefully only one. Okay, great. Oh, it immediately... When I put that in, oh, no, I can do this. I can do this. There we go. Cool. Okay, so now we have overflow 1. So if I start a battle here, it'll put 4 into the battle. Yeah, nice. Nice. Do I show up because you're hungry, or are you hungry because I show up? I'm hungry because you show up. Also, you've always got cotton candy all over you. And the potions and weapons tooltip showed the same stats. Showed like these, you hover over these and it tells you like what fraction of a key it would give you, because that can change with what perks you have. But also I'm okay with players just clicking this and then realizing, oh, that gave me 28%, so just multiply this by 2, so this should give me 36%, and it does. So those are your current fractions. Oh, I see. I'll see if people seem to want that, but I think this is something that they've wanted. You have to get to the grinders and make the decisions in line. Yeah, I'll see if that ends up being a need that people have. I think overflow should go now below this. So we should do egg progress first. And then overflow eggs second. And then same thing over here. We do this. Yeah. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so if I put in, I don't have ogre blood, but if I do this, I end up with 6 overflow seeds. Nice. How are wish lists coming along? They've died down quite a lot. I'm not marketing the game as much anymore because I really wanted to focus on development and just getting challenge mode to be in a good spot. So we're at about 9,000 wish lists. I mean, that's not bad. It's just the rate it's gone up has been about 100 in a month. It's not great. But I have been getting people to play test the game more and more and give feedback. And I should probably show you this new mode. Let me show it to you. So this is Bone Mode, business optimization via new expansions. The way that this works is if we kick this off, this is, let's start the farming scenario. It says start with a farm and many related perks. So we start this and we have the farm. It is fully built and we have a lot of perks for it already too. So you still battle just like you do in the regular game. But in this version of the game, whenever you want to upgrade something or build something or hire somebody, you're given a random set of choices. So it becomes very roguelike in that way. So I click buy perk and now I don't have a way of always guaranteeing I'm getting this perk. So maybe I pick this one, employee discount, and I choose it. And now I want to go build a building and I build and I'm like, well, I got the warehouse this time. I'll go for the warehouse. And same thing for hiring an adventurer. I'll hire the archer this time or the paladin this time. And then the battle perks also work that way. You don't pick level up specifically. You're leveling up this way and they all have different stats that you choose between. So it's a different way of playing. It makes runs a little bit different each time. And then these scenarios also can change the run a bit. Like this one starts with a farm. The next one starts with some adventurers. And then there's progress that carries over between runs. So you can start with more workers, start with more buildings. And then you also unlock perks as you go through. So the more runs you do, the more perks you'll start seeing in the pool. New health progress bar? Yeah, Quickie Joe did that. I'm glad you saw that. Let me show you. I think we can probably see it if we start with a spirit caller over here. Otherwise, I might need to start a new game. Hopefully they lose the battle. Yeah, they will. It'll just take them some time. All right. So yeah, check this out. Nice little bandage bar there. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, Quickie Joe's been doing fantastic stuff for this game. And it's just another thing that makes the game look a little bit more polished. So yeah, I'm digging it. All right, so this is done. So we need to actually get the spell working. And I think we save that for the afternoon. And then add in a whole bunch of perks if we can. I'd like to do some balance testing today. Yeah. Renovating a house, got a promotion ahead of product development. Wow, congratulations. I knew about the house stuff. And no, I didn't see that if you had typed that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, my bad. It was in between a bunch of other red messages. Yeah, man. Well, I hope it's feeling good. You know, I was thinking a while ago. So for those who don't know, 3D Extended is one of the, I guess I technically had 4 public mentees. But 3D Extended was one of the 3 that I had that had done it for a long time. So I think it was like a year of sessions and we got through, I don't know, like 8 or 9 sessions or something like that. And I was thinking of doing a follow-up like a year after the sessions ended. Okay, so where is everyone now? How have their careers progressed? And I just never did that. But as you can see, 3D Extended is doing pretty well. Head of product development. Good, but a lot at once. Would have liked to kind of space stuff apart more. Yeah. Yeah. This is one of the things I always feel like, and I probably talked about this a lot during the mentoring sessions, but there's something called the Peter Principle, I think it was, named after Office Space, which is like you'll rise to the level of mediocrity that you belong in, where if you just think of levels in a company, you're level 1, you get to level 2, you get to level 3, and maybe these are called like junior and senior and something and principal at some point. It's like a lot of people can hit a level that they don't want to be at. So maybe you end up going to like level 5 on this scale, your whatever staff level. I'm just making things up, right? You're level 5 and you're like, ooh man, level 4 was actually where it was at. I really want to be level 4 again. Most companies don't have a way for you to go backwards. They're like, well, you made it to this level. Like, why would you get promoted? You can stay at the level, but you won't know what the next level is like necessarily, or what the expectations are, or what it's like after a year or 2 years or 3 years of that. So yeah, spacing this out sometimes I think is pretty nice. You can be like, okay, I'm level 4. How do I feel about this? Is this boring now? Have I been in this for 5 years? And I'm like, I want to go to level 5. So I totally understand that. I hate that my name is this principal. You know what's funny too is in Office Space, there's a Michael Bolton character, and he's like, I hate that I'm named after the singer. So it's extra fitting that you don't like that you're named after something from Office Space. A soul sample. At some point, levels just turn into management, which is even worse. Some companies do, but some companies actually have an IC track for engineers. Typically, all the sort of FANG companies do. Like, you could be a distinguished engineer at Google or Microsoft or something like that and be an IC. But yeah, a lot of companies do eventually steer you toward management, which, yes, I do think that's difficult because it's a role change, not just a level change. To go from like making tech A to making tech, A times 3 is just a scale problem. But to go from being an IC to having people work under you is like, well, maybe you don't want people working under you. Maybe you're not a good manager. Maybe, I don't know, any other number of problems. Why would I change my name? He's the one who sucks. Yeah. I've been mentoring someone for over 2 years now. I think I've done as much as I can for them. I think they want to continue with it, but I think the goal has been accomplished. Any tips for moving forward toward a done phase? So the way I kind of look at this is probably all mentoring eventually steers toward like a social hangout. And when that happens, I feel like the value has been exhausted. I don't think there needs to be a done point. I think it's just like hey, I think we hit this point. If you need something in the future, and then fill that in with whatever you want. Reach out to me. You can pay for a session. We'll just chat about it over coffee. Yeah. Because that was my like main driver for mentoring. As long as a mentee is getting value, I'm happy to continue. But if the mentee doesn't think they're getting value, or if I don't think they're getting value, then I think it's worth stopping basically immediately. Because at that point, it's kind of a waste of people's time. Unless all you care about is a social hangout. But then you're labeling it the wrong thing. At that point, it's a social hangout, not mentoring. A lot to be discussed. Yeah. And 3D Extended definitely cared about the mentoring, which is nice. I currently have one mentee, but it's only via private sessions. And this mentee also cares about this stuff, which is nice. This is why I think I can never be a teacher, by the way. I think almost anywhere that you're a teacher, you're going to have some students who care and some students who don't care. And I'd love to just not focus on the ones who don't care. As a mentor, you can be like, well, we're done. I'm not going to keep doing this anymore. But as a teacher, you don't really have that luxury. A lot of teachers try just focusing on the people who care anyway, but I think that's a disservice to the students who don't care. They should still learn. You should try to get them to care. Just a very difficult job. All right, I'm going to change this to just int. And that way we don't need this toString 0. Cannot convert from int to string. Oh yeah, we still need toString here. All right, fine. Let's leave it as is. But this could be changed slightly to this. Yeah, that looks slightly nicer. I want to do the same thing, and I don't want to be done with this. This is not me doing anything meaningful for the code here. Nice. I'd love to be a teacher, but that requires more education. I'm just not in that idea. Yeah. I think teachers are so valuable as a profession, and I just don't understand. Well, I guess I understand. I don't like that they're not paid more. And I think good teachers are very hard to come by. So if you'd like to be a teacher, I would say work toward it, because liking being a teacher is like step 1 to being a good teacher. I think it's probably hard to be a good teacher if you don't like it. parenting teaches you really quick. You can't really influence other people's level of care that much. Got to either have their own aha moment or not, especially true for young adults. Yeah, that's probably true. I think there are ways you can make a topic more interesting, though. Like, we've all probably had a variety of teachers. You've had a fun teacher who didn't really teach you much. You've had a really good teacher who taught you a lot. You had a teacher who knew their stuff, but they had really dry material and it was hard to learn from them or something. I don't know. We've all probably had like a range of people and you've liked learning from some of them. I think even for the students who don't care, you can still probably get some stuff to stick. But this is just me speculating. I haven't officially been a teacher before. All I know is that I haven't liked working with the students who don't care. I was like a teaching assistant. All right, yeah, I think this is a pretty good stopping point for this. I've worked for, wow, almost 4 hours. Yeah. Yeah, this has been nice, though. We've almost gotten the spell working. I think the remaining parts of getting the spell working shouldn't be as bad as what seemed like they should be the easy parts. Getting this tooltip and figuring out the wording and everything. So if I put this in here, it doesn't spawn. No, it does. Okay. Yeah. Then I put this in. We have one overflow key. So if I take the key out, there goes our overflow. Yeah, I like this a lot. I like the idea of finding a new mentor, but don't know how. Any tips for after the house stuff? I mean, I'm technically still available. But anyway, to answer your question, finding a new mentor, I think it's like look in your professional network for people you admire for some quality and then just reach out. No, I'm not trying to push for this necessarily. And it's not that I just need to slot it in. That's it. So I am available. I'm not making that up. But yeah, this is generally how I've thought about doing these things. And I think there are also these networking events like a conference or something, or honestly, anywhere you intersect with somebody else. But I think in general, it's people you know would be more likely to do it. And then finally, I think company resources sometimes exist that could give you mentoring. So like when I was at Google, they have a mentoring database and each mentor would list what they're good at. So these might exist, but if they don't, there's probably some like external mentor database somewhere too. Probably a paid service where the database itself is paid and then also you pay for the lessons. That's my guess, but I don't know that for sure. Did I mentor at Google? I did, yes. Yeah, and I mentored, I think 2 people, and one of them shows up to the stream sometimes. I won't dox them. And the other one, I haven't heard from in a while, but she got promoted right before I left. And that was like the goal. So I felt very accomplished and hopefully she felt very accomplished. You didn't think I was still an option? I'll reach out. Yeah, so I will say this. The sessions are all paid now, which I'm assuming won't be a problem based on what I know about you. The sessions are all paid and public is like, let's say this, and private is, let's say this. So if you still want to do them publicly, it's technically cheaper. All right, so I'm not going to go through this stuff right now. Yeah, like I said, I think this is a good stopping point. It's typical. You got a corn. You know, the number of people who've been reporting that they've gotten corns lately has been higher and higher. I know you were in the process of buying one and you mentioned that you got one and it was almost 200 bucks. But it's nice that you got it. Give me a few months. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, take your time. I think so. I've mentioned that my launch date for Skeleseller should be Q1 of 2026. So it is possible, like a few months from now, I assume means 2026. And if it's during what I would call like a crunch time sort of thing, I might say let's hold off for a month or two. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, feel free to reach out and everything. You're currently looking at one, the bill of materials. Yeah. I will say if you're okay building one, yeah, go for it. But it's probably just easier and maybe even cheaper to just get a pre-built one. And depending on where you live, there are going to be different sites that you could use. So I think like Keybio has some pre-built corn keyboards. Do they have... How do you find a corn through this? Wait, what? Corn doesn't show up when you use? They don't sell a corn, huh? But they sell ones that are very similar. I guess the iris is pretty similar. Anyway, I don't know all the different manufacturers, but it's probably easier to do that. Has no key marking, so I'm super confused. Yeah, what I would suggest is keep your key map up. If you have a visual of it, or if you have like what I have for this, keep it up on your screen for a little bit, or print it out even, you know, whatever's going to help you, and just consult it for a bit. But do try to learn how to use it without looking at the keyboard. I think that's going to help the most. And if you have LEDs, then start color coding your keys. So like backspace being red, delete being red, those are pretty nice to know. You could maybe make all the symbols blue or something like that. Hey Hex, welcome to the channel. I use C# and I use Godot. I have an app for this one sec. Yeah, nice, yeah. Yeah, I'm using C# and I was actually just about to sign off. I'm gonna go get lunch, but it is a little afternoon for me. I'll be back in about an hour. I'm gonna end the stream and come back. This is pretty typical. But if you want to join Discord, there's the link. This is for everybody, by the way. And I am looking for playtesters, and the new playtest version should be out in a couple days, I hope. So if you want to join the playtest, there's that. Am I using Mac? Yes, I'm on Mac. And there are the specs that I have there. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be back in about an hour. I will hopefully see you then. Bye, everyone.